sit in silence for a minute until it comes on. And so,
I'm not full screen.
I guess we could do that. I guess that's also fine.
Hang on. Shall we just stop whilst I pause my show?
Go on, get it out. Get it out. Go on.
Sorry, it's coming.
Go on.
There you go.
Oh, right on the.
Oh, yeah.
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, children of all ages, and anyone else, whatever you want to call yourself. I don't really mind. Welcome to Vape Talk UK. This is episode 128.
Footnote: as long as you're over 18.
Oh yeah, you've got to be over 18, yeah, because we talk about
Children of all ages, Stu.
willies and all that kind of thing. Yeah, it's a good point. Good point. We want to talk about squonking this week, which is why we've got just somewhere around there on my screen. I don't know about anyone else's, but he's just there on my screen. He's just
Here on mine.
poking him in his fucking head. Go on, my son. Go on. We've got Mark Ski from formerly from UKS. He's not doing that anymore, are you, mate?
Nah, just becoming a bit much. I enjoyed the group from the other side, so
We have the freelancing Marksky then.
what's that? Sorry.
We have the freelancing Marksky then.
Fuck yeah!
He's a free agent.
What's it like this side of the fence?
It's much better, man. You don't have to fucking hold your tongue when you see people posting shit on the group. So it's much better. I'm enjoying it.
Diplomatic.
I'm sure Mark hasn't got much diplomacy, to be fair.
Hey, I can imagine Mark being pretty level-headed in a dispute.
Yeah. There's pretty much.
As well as that man, we've got that man, Mr. Mark Dolan.
Evening, peeps.
We've got that man, Mr. Ian, vaguely vaping-related Chandler.
Good evening.
Vapor related.
Vaguely vapor-related, yeah. And we've got that man, vaguely raping-related, Chris JB. There he goes. Look at that Queen wave. That was lovely.
Thanks.
Beautifully executed.
Worked hard on that.
Good. You said hard on. So, Chris, what are you vaping this week, mate?
I am give 3 guesses.
If it's not a squonker, then you're on the wrong fucking show, aren't you?
Well, I'm doing both. Well, it's not UK Squonk talk, is it? Got this
That's a billet box. They don't squonk.
with some 45mg mix-ups in it. Got this with it was all black till my battery died. Now it's
It's got pickle in it.
got
Fucking good.
Pickle Rick.
So I've got that with the B2K. Does anyone find it poppy?
Yeah, it's a bit poppy, a little bit poppy, but I think that's down to what build you put in it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the Atti's fault.
I've got the Caviar B2K, whatever it is.
It's not the caviar edition if you've got the black cap on it, have you? Because the caviar edition is just a stainless steel cap.
Well, I've got the fucking Caviar edition, dickhead.
It's just a black B2K, mate.
Fucking knob.
I just want to fucking show off because you've got the newest release. There'll be another new one in 2 weeks anyway.
Well, I've got that one.
Will you get all the caps with it, though?
Yeah, just a few. Got
How many did you get with the caviar edition?
You get 4, but you don't get the frosted white. You get stainless steel.
I think I probably. That's a tough trade. I do like stainless steel.
It's pretty good. So yeah, I've got the B2K with Bubblegum by Imperial Vape Co. I think it's his great bubblegum. Banging juice. And I've also got this. Check this out.
That's nice. I won't mind one of them.
Some middle-aged fanboy sent me in the post.
Yeah. Did you get the juice with it?
I did. That's what I've got inside it.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah,
What's
very,
that?
very well steeped hakucho thing.
No. It's
No.
The turtle one.
Now. 6 months.
Turtle.
The turtle one. It was all right with the turtle one.
Still called Cami.
Yeah.
It's been called Cami every day for the last 6 months since it came out, and it's still called Cami.
You've been called Cammy. And on that, I've got the hashtag Team Free Shit Kev Molester's mesh RDA in here.
Nice of you to thank him, by the way, for that.
I know, I didn't even get a fucking chance. He was like, "Oh, you got it then." I was like, "Yeah, cheers, Gav." But yeah, in that I've got good stuff. Yeah, it's a bit out there, rainbow and then a clear and whitey drip tip thing, but I like the soy sauce bottles you've got in there, Chandler.
They're good, aren't they?
I would have quite liked to poke a little fish through the hole.
Chandler filling his fucking jumper up at Yo Sushi a couple of weeks ago before he made all these mods.
You should have just gone down to Asda and got the little fish-shaped ones.
I don't think they'd fit in. It might need some like creative, some creative CAD work to get that to kind of fit inside. What do you reckon?
Why don't you just fillet the fish, like tuck his tail and his fins off and just have the fish?
Yeah, but then the bottle would leak.
No, the fins and the tail are just like heat pressed shut.
Oh, okay.
But I'm actually really happy with this. The mod itself is nice. I mean, it's got like literally no throw on it.
That is literally no throw.
It's a bit tight, that one.
But so I can't put anything to stop it from firing in my pocket on it. But I don't stick it in my pocket. I hold it all the time, so it don't matter.
There you go.
But yeah, it's nice. And to be honest, like the bottle's fucking lasting ages.
It's 15 mil.
What's the capacity of the bottles?
15 mil.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, so yeah, it's nice. It's this with the fucking this mesh thing is actually really fucking nice.
I hate that mesh RDA.
I expected it to be so shit.
It is so shit.
But I poked a screwdriver through the middle, right where the squonk juice comes in, and created like a little like tunnel. So when you squonk it, it actually gets wet really quickly. So I've not had a single dry hit off it.
And it's still shit.
You can fucking talk, cunt.
Cold, flavourless, slow ramping shit.
Slow ramping?
Have you tried the tanks?
No.
We got the tanks in last week, the week before.
Is that shit?
I opened it up. I give it a dry suck and put it straight back in the box.
Ooh.
Not for me. Not for me.
I'll tell you what fucking impressed me that this week that we got in. That new Manta RTA from Advocate.
Not tried those yet.
That's worth a little look.
They're the people that make the Nano.
They make the Gorge as well, which is a Squonk RDA that's actually not awful and is only about 23 quid.
Is that a top airflow tank?
What, the Manta?
Aye.
No, it's bottom.
I've got a tank that sounds like that. It might be the Mantra, actually.
Mantra, yeah, I think there is one called Mantra.
I
I don't think it's made by the same people.
Yeah, I picked up a load of Squonk RDAs this week. The B2K I really like. It's a bit poppy, but that mesh is really fucking good. The Maze is okay. It's different. What else did I get? I ordered the Pulse 22, but they sent me a Pulse 24, so I bought the 22 anyway. And I'm waiting for that to come. I haven't done the 24 yet. I didn't bother that.
The 22 is better, noticeably better.
Yeah, I'm not. 24 I wasn't really interested in. The reason I bought the 22 was because I wanted a 22, and I ended up with 24. So save the arse ache of having to send it back and get another one out. I just bought the 22 again, and said you're covering postage, which they said all right. But yeah, it's all right. The Nixon 1.5, that I really liked, but my build was way too hot for it, so I've contacted Mark Skinoza guy who needs some stuff. So I contacted him, and he's sorting me out some coils. He's even wrapping them for me.
I know. Is he fitting them for you?
It'd be a long fucking journey, wouldn't it, to fit some coils?
Vaping them for you as well?
You can do if he likes. But yeah, no. Well, because he cuts them into like 6-inch strands or 5-inch strands, so they fit in these test tube things. Well, wanted a couple that had like an extra wrap on it, and Mark had said that you can get 2 out of a strand at a push. So I said to him that is there any chance you could send me a couple of 6-inch strands? And he's like, well, they won't fit in the tube, so I'll wrap you up some coils instead.
Mark, are they the ones you sent me?
Aye, the same ones. Aye. The little NI80 micro fuse Claptons.
Oh, is that what 230s fused with 40 or something?
I think the 2640s. I think
That's not micro.
Oh, the tiny.
26 is like normal.
I'm sure there were 26s. I might be wrong though. I might be wrong. They were nice though. They're very good. I use them.
Oh yeah, I've got a load of them coming. And that's me. I think. Well, have any of you tried this?
It's the good stuff.
It is so fucking good.
What was that? Rhubarb and custard gin?
No, rhubarb and ginger gin.
Whoa.
Oh, it's so good. Well, that stuff's more like a liqueur. It's not actually a proper gin. So I went online and I bought a proper gin that's rhubarb and ginger, and it's not very rhubarby and gingery. That's like being punched in the face by rhubarb and ginger. This stuff, I mean, the bottle appealed to me more than the fucking drink. So look at that. Oh, can you see it? Like a.
Oh, that's a nice bottle. That's a lovely bottle.
Very nice.
So that's like a full strength gin, which is what I'm drinking at the minute. But I can't be asked to keep going up and mixing them, so I brought this in. So once I finish that, I'll just get onto this neat. Beautiful.
I think someone's taken my alcoholic stance.
To be honest, it's that fucking.
Yeah, how many beers have you got there at the minute, Mark?
None.
None? Yeah, seriously?
Fuck right off, you liar.
No way. How many beers have you got in front of you?
He's only saying none because he's got a keg with a hose coming out.
Have you got your rectal thermometer in? Because you're obviously poorly.
Whoa! 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. 7?
And they're pint cans, aren't they? Fucking greedy cunt.
No, there's only 6, but I've done 2.
What is it, special brew?
He's only been home 15 minutes.
Yeah, but look at the size of him, for fuck's sake. You know those little sample cans that Coca-Cola hand out on the street? Like a normal tinny of beer is just like one of them to him, isn't it?
Hang on, does John Martin get this shit on his show?
No, because they're all pissed.
Yeah.
Oh, talking of fucking alcohol, though, Mark Ski has got the most beautiful collection I've ever seen. Like, come your pants sexy.
Of what?
Whiskies.
Whiskey.
Whiskey. I'm more of a bourbon drinker, but I do like it.
He don't even drink whiskey.
Fuck's sake.
Care to elaborate, Mark Ski? Fuck's sake.
Nah, this stuff's fucking horrible, man. I don't drink that shit.
So why have you got a load of nice whiskey then?
Right, well, the idea was it was maybe if I ever had kids, it was going to put them, give them a start in life if they wanted to punt it or whatever like that. But I don't have any kids, so I just keep adding to it.
I've got a couple you can have.
I think I'd rather drink the whiskey.
You got
Honestly,
are we going to congratulate Big Boy?
what, Mark, on his beautiful collection?
You done a baby, didn't you?
I did do a baby.
Done a baby, didn't he? Yeah, congratulations, mate.
Congratulations, mate.
Congratulations.
What make is it?
Sanyo.
Brandon.
He'll be really good with electronics when he's older.
Did you just say Scania?
Sanyo. We're gonna keep it as gender fluid.
Gender fluid.
Just like his mum, dad.
Yeah, it's a boy, I think.
Is it a boy though, or is it a little early for it to make that decision?
This is true.
You can't force these things on kids, you know. If it's not okay to force religion on them, you can't force gender on them either.
Chris.
Yes, mate.
Sorry to refer to it as it, but was it born with a PP?
I don't know. I've not seen yet.
You're not. Are you telling me you haven't done a nappy yet?
He's in a baby tank.
Surely you get him like quick once over, a quick visual MOT. You know, look, legs are on, arms are on, yeah, head's facing the right way, that kind of thing.
Excuse me, ladies. Can you pull all them wires out so I can see if he's got a knob?
Fucking hell, mate! Jesus, you can check from afar.
I just took their word for it, mate.
All right. So Chris has got a boy, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be really annoyed if it was like some elaborate joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get the nursery all painted blue.
And you've got to shave it when you get home. Sorry for referring to it as it, but it's not decided on its
Hey,
gender yet.
Until it decides, it's it. It's as simple as that.
No, you can refer to them as they.
Yeah, they themselves.
Yeah. Anyway, talking of
Fuck me. Because your camera's so potato, I genuinely thought that you just picked up a bong. I thought you were just going to sit there and hit a bong on the show. Fucking.
oh god, to be 15 again.
Oh,
Well, that bottle's got a really wide neck on it, so it looked like the spout of a bong.
I was going to say, Chris, 15 stone. That was a long time ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, fuck me, Chris's dinner weighed 15 stone, didn't it?
Talking of creepy little gender fluid people, Stu, what are you vaping on?
Oh, thanks, mate. I'm creepy. I like that. I got something that
To
doesn't.
be honest, you do look a bit like a lesbian.
Yeah, I'm aware. It's because I've just had my hair shaved at the sides and it's quite long on top. That's what it is.
You look like you could after a makeover. Oh, no.
and your internet's going a bit spotty, so the beard actually looks a little bit painted on.
Wait a minute. You look like
There you go. I'll take the hat off. How's that?
well, the way you're playing with your hair makes me, I'm a bit. Ooh, that chip fat hair. Oosh. Anyway, what are you vaping on, mate?
Your mum. I got the Berserker again on the Therian 166 with
I still hate that.
12 milligram raspberry. That's just the mouth to lung standard at the moment, to be honest. I'm really liking that. And then I've got some stuff with holes in. I've got a Freehand S natural walnut with 5A's basic on top. And in that, I've got that new carrot cake from Epistle, which was lovely the first 2 or 3 times I vaped it, and now it just tastes like Dairyly, and I'm kind of not vaping it as much as I should. It's very cheesy.
Is the name appropriate?
It's not completely piss poor. The thing is, like, you know, anything that's like yogurty or cream cheesy or anything like that, it does taste a bit like stale Dairyly, and some people really like that. And to them, it's probably lovely, but to me, the first couple of vapes were really nice, and now I kind of hate it. Well, I don't hate it, but because I'm still vaping it, but I don't like it. Do you know what I mean? It's just sort of.
I know what you mean. Like, I can't vape it either.
I know what you mean about the flavour. I just don't understand why you'd still be vaping if you don't like it.
The thing that's actually annoying me about it is, if you're going to call it carrot cake, it should taste of fucking spices, and it doesn't. It just tastes of cream cheese and sweetener.
What you should do, rub a carrot on your drip tip.
I've rubbed my carrot on your drip tip.
Yeah, one of those little frozen carrots from Iceland you've got, haven't you?
A little baby carrot.
I like the giggle from the background. Yeah, it says it all.
Thanks, love. Thanks for giving me. Like all of YouTube doesn't already know I've got a tiny penis.
Well, she said you've got. She did say that you've got some serious balls, though.
Yeah. Balls like a horse, but hung like a hamster. Yeah, it's really, really weird.
I did read on Lad Bible earlier that micro penises can still be satisfying.
Oh yeah.
I read that exact post earlier. Did you click it?
Yeah.
Of course, Chris clicked it, for fuck's sake. He hasn't seen us in years.
I do. I know. I go into Clark's and use a little angled shoe mirrors.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
Anyway, what else are you vaping on, or is that it?
No, I've also got the 67 Neo, which I've had for a couple of weeks now, and I'm actually fucking in love with this.
Did it dodge bullets?
Yeah, no. This is, it's fucking mega. I picked this up from Thomas Chapman at, what's his website called? Squonkmods UK or squonkmods.co.uk. And what did I miss?
Can you put your hat back on, please, mate?
Oh, my forehead makes me look like a Klingon. Yeah, I'm a bit furrowy in the brow, aren't I?
And you've also got a red mark from where the cap was.
Yeah, I know, all right. I'll put the fucking hat back on. Jesus, hecklers.
Too small for his fat head.
Hey, you happy now? Are you happy now that you've ruined my self-confidence when I was in the middle of
Now he
talking?
looks like a lesbian again.
Kapla!
Sorry, Stu. Please continue.
No, this is not a nice way to treat a friend, right?
Your beard grows in the same.
Your words are very hurtful. And we need to be more careful what we say now that Chris has got a gender fluid baby.
Your eyebrows are quite gender fluid.
Shush. On top,
Who
this
threaded
one,
them for it?
I have also got a B2K. No, actually, I'm gonna address this. My eyebrows are naturally fleeky as fuck, and no one knows why. I don't know what it is about them.
There's definitely an exact Gillette Mac 3 gap between the two of them.
Yeah, no, I do shave between them because I don't like those little puby ones that come up in the middle. But yeah, all that's all natural, that is, mate. That's all natural. I actually occasionally get a really long one in here. It's not there at the moment, but I sometimes get a really long one. And it looks quite ugly.
He thought he had a really long pube until he pissed out of it.
That is literally the oldest joke in the world. Like, the last time somebody found that joke funny, you were thin.
I don't know, it would have been a while ago.
Anyway, back to what you got on top.
I've got a B2K on there.
Move on.
Mine wasn't the caviar edition. Mine was the crank edition, which means that it comes with a frosted white cap, a frosted clear cap instead of a stainless steel cap. But it's irrelevant because I'm using the Ultim because the Ultim looks sick with that button. Look at that. Hang on, let's do that thing. Do that thing to get some focus. Go on, focus, you cunt.
It looks all right.
Way! There we go.
That looks nice, doesn't it? That look nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, still, I've got to admit, the B2K is fucking cracking for its money. It really, really does do a good job for its money. But the fact that it's 23 mil, so these beauty rings don't work with any other Atties, is fucking stupid. It is so fucking dumb. Why didn't they make it 22? Because you're not really getting quite as much value for money as it appears if you get 4 beauty rings that you can only use with this Atty and the like minute handful of other 23 mil Atties.
Hold it up.
There you go.
Is that polished piss as opposed to frosted piss?
No, it looks blasted to me.
But you can see through it. Well, you can see through your button at least. Your button's well polished.
The button's polished. Because the button, you can see the silver plate behind it from the contact.
Mm.
But I don't think this is. I think this is blasted. Who's next? Markski, you're the guest. What are you vaping?
What? Who said Alexa? No one. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, Alexa, shut the fuck up.
I've just got I've got a never done Squonker mod with a armor on top.
Wow. Look at that.
That's a lot of money.
I really hated my armor.
You did, didn't you? You fucking despised it.
Really didn't like it.
I've never tried one, so can't comment.
Mark,
I think it's good.
are you running single or dual coil in there, Mark?
I've got one of those coils that I sent you, single coil.
Does it not feel as though you're breathing through one nostril?
Well, I breathe like that anyway.
No.
It makes no difference. I don't know if you can see, but my nose has been broken for about fucking 10 years. So, but nah, it's I enjoy it. It's good, man. And the juice I've got in that is it's called Reason by Premise. It's acai, coconut milk, and strawberry.
That sounds fucking delicious.
It's really fucking good, really good.
Where do we get that? I fancy a go on that.
PM me after the show, and I'll sort you out.
Oh yes, oh yes. Yeah, that sounds like my kind of thing.
Mark, what are you vaping on?
Old Faithful.
Cool mint.
Chris, you've only just filled that glass. You're worse than me.
Yeah, but it's very Moorish.
Oh, I can see this. This is going to go downhill as we go through.
The difference is I can control myself.
I can.
Chris just doesn't have a mute button.
Chris,
Yeah, but we
Chris
do.
is literally the last person I would ever want to be around drunk, ever.
I've spent many a drunken evening with Chris, and it's actually quite funny.
Me and Mark drunk fucking 2 litres of Jack Daniels and a litre of Ciroc vodka between us.
You had a shot of each and he had the rest of each bottle.
No, honestly, it was such a mad session. And we was at Expo and we were up on the main stage at like 4 p.m. and he walks in.
At 4:15.
Yeah, 4:15. He just stayed in bed. It was quite a mad one.
Yeah. My other hand, my Bunto.
Yeah, that's nice.
And in the audio that Chris hates.
Yeah, I really like those Mun's bell caps. I'm not a massive lover of the Haku, but
I mean, with that cap, it looks nice, but I think it in itself, the original thing.
You know what? You know me. I love the Solo. That was my. Oh, sorry, Chris. I've got one of those as well.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Solo. It was all I used. Literally all I used. Until I got the Haku.
So you don't want your Solo anymore, do you?
Ain't never going to give up, is he?
Never. Never.
Well, he's already
Have you
said
ever seen that episode of The Simpsons where the headmaster,
pull that,
where the headmaster's chasing Bart around because he's bunking off school? It's like one of the really old episodes. That's me chasing a Solo.
And on those, I is vaping. Oh, where's she gone? On the plastic, I'm vaping on Iron Brew from Jeffries. I thought I'd do it for the Scottish link.
Does it actually taste like Iron Brew?
It does actually. And you know what? Do it. I sent samples out to somebody.
Yeah, where's my fucking samples, you dickhead?
And the feedback I got was it smells like bottled farts. So yeah, true to Iron Brew, it smells like. No, it's good. It does taste like Iron Brew.
Well, I think
I'm literally on dribbles. Of my apple and elderflower, which is in the Punto.
When are you fucking sending me a Jeffrey? You were supposed to send my Jeffries 2 weeks ago.
No, I wasn't. I never agreed to send you Jeffries.
Yes, you did.
Oh, here we go.
The same day you told me about Martin Juicegate. When Martin got his juice, it was someone else's.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah, you said that day you'd send me some, and you didn't.
Okay.
Might even give you £1.
Yeah, there we go. Hashtag free shit. The comments have started.
Anyway, you vaping on anything else?
No, that's it. I'm sat in front of looking at. I found an old Sunbox lying around.
I saw someone selling one of them the other day.
No.
Hmm.
And I don't know why. I think I must have built on it. The Hurricane Junior. I've no idea why, but not the
That's like the tallest setup in the world.
biggest setup in the world. What else have I got in front of me? Series. Ooh.
That's angry.
And a death trap. What's this? DCC.
Right, you're not vaping on any of them shits, are you?
Ethereum
Playing
Sam,
Mark's
what are you vaping on, mate?
The SOI.
Chandler, what are you vaping on, mate?
Little desk, but
Just Chandler, just talk over him. He's gone into autopilot. There's no stopping it now until he clears everything on his desk.
just
He's
found-
going to go through. He's going to go through the entire stock.
and some beard oil.
You've not been vaping that, have you?
No, and a fidget spinner.
Fidget
Badget
spinner.
spanner.
This new B2K BB mods thing that I got free with me things like a fidget spanner.
Chris,
Badget spanner for your phone.
Chris, do you remember at Expo where we're sat out in the garden having a vape, and that Irish guy came over?
Oh, the one was off his tits.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I said to him, I told him to say fidget spanner, and he said fidget spinner. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? I said for months I've been convinced that Irish people would say fidget spanner. And it's like, nah, unfortunately not. I says, do me a favour, I'm gonna go get someone. Could you say fidget spanner? So the whole time we were in Spain, and for weeks before and weeks afterwards, me and Lindsay had been saying fidget spanner to each other, convinced that's how the Irish said it. So she came over and says to him, can you say fidget spinner? And he goes, fidget spanner. And she just fucking pissed herself. He was convinced that the Irish said fidget spanner because the Irish bloke let me dupe her.
That was
my
kind of
little boy calls them spidget spanners. Wait, I'll find the video and play the audio. Obviously, I'm not showing you my child, you weirdo.
Can we just find out what Chandler's vaping?
No.
I'm not vaping out. Hang on.
Wait a minute.
What do you want for Christmas?
Mr. the Roaster Racers.
And what else?
Spidget spanners.
Budget spanners. That's what he wants for Christmas.
Oh man,
Asking you shall receive. I'm gonna find him some budget spanners.
that is so cute. I'll give you that. It's cute.
He is a very cute child. He's quite clever, quite intelligent for 6 days old.
I just found one of those as well.
Fuck off, Mark. What are you vaping on, Chandler?
Right, I've got my mouth to long shite.
Oh,
I've got me Merlin Mini with my Yogi in it, as I've always got. So that's my
there.
there. Yeah, that's
that
yeah.
box seems to have gone down from last week. Does it sit on your desk?
Now that one sits on my desk. I got 2 bottles of concentrate, and I basically filled up the empty concentrate bottle, and the other bottle's in my car, and that's the one that I've been filling the tank up with.
Does look very.
So that is exactly the same amount in it as there was last week, because that's just sat on my desk.
That's a urine sample if I ever saw
Just swallow coffee grinds.
It does look like a urine sample, to be fair. Look at that lovely color, but it tastes great. Yeah, and I've got something that's not got holes in it. Look, I found this on my desk.
Is that an RX 200, an original OG? Oh, it's a 200S.
No, that's a 2.3 because the
Oh, it's a
comes-
200.
That's a 200.
That's a 200, yeah, small screen DNA 200. Well, kind of DNA 200, nearly.
and
using them. That's disgusting.
oh, there you go. Because I've got the shit. Where's that covered in juice?
Chandler, do you want to buy a Lost Fake drone since you don't mind massive fucking mods?
I don't mind massive fucking mods. This kind of this is great. I think it's fab.
Well, do you want to buy a Lost Fake drone? It's that size, but it's got a squonk bottle at the back instead of a battery.
And it takes
No.
It takes 17 18650s.
It's true, and it does all the watts, every single watt that you could ever imagine. It does
You
them.
think my series box is big? You wait until you get one of those in your hand.
Yeah, it's
Chris,
basically
is it
vaping on a
regulated? Is it regulated? This
Yeah.
drone?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's regulated
shit,
in
that's-
27 different countries.
Oh man, this is my boner out of the window now. Then.
And it comes with a bottle that size to put inside.
It's not that.
Oh,
It's the same size. It's the same size as a 2.3.
yeah. So it's
No,
dual,
it's not.
dual battery squonk.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
definitely not the same size as the 2.3. It's at least 5 mil taller, at least.
like 5mm matters when they're already the size of a fucking house brick.
Hey, I wouldn't mind an extra 5mm, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind an extra 5mm, double the length. I could go for that. Stop laughing when I make small dick jokes.
True facts, Stu. True facts.
It does. It does.
So there's that. And I've also. And I've also got something with a hole in it. There you go. Look, I've got one of these as well.
Yeah, but do you have a Spadget on your phone?
Do I have a
Spadget on a phone?
I haven't got a Spadget Spadget.
Badget spanner.
A Spadget Fanner Bone. No, I haven't got one of them. And in that I am vaping. I have got rhubarb and custard. I just did. There you go. Goes with your gin. We're like flavor coordinated.
Right. Something I want to add. every single rhubarb and custard I've ever vaped.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed when I first started vaping it. But after a day or so, they start to taste dirty.
That says your missus gradually adds shit to your cotton.
Probably.
Do you mean that the flavour you're just vaping that flavour and nothing else?
No, regardless, every rhubarb and custard ends up tasting dirty to me after a period of time.
If you leave it and you come back to it, does it revert back to its lovely rhubarbness?
It does for the first couple of hits, and then it goes back to tasting like filth.
You know how rhubarb's a bit tannin-y?
Yeah.
Do you ever find that rhubarb vapes taste a bit like sort of cold tea?
Well, I kind of get from rhubarb, it kind of sucks all the spit out of your mouth.
Yeah.
I've no idea what you cunts are on about.
Well, this rhubarb and custard is really nice, and you can actually taste the custard in that as well.
But does the rhubarb taste like filth?
No, the rhubarb actually tastes like rhubarb. I can vape this all day, and it still tastes like rhubarb each time you.
Who's it made by? I don't recognise the label. Hold it up again.
Ministry of Custard.
Oh yeah, they're actually all right. Just want to point out something in the chat a minute. Jay's just said they tend to taste very chemically. Like, I really fucking hate it when people say that about juice. It's made of chemicals. Everything's a fucking chemical. That doesn't mean anything, Jay.
Don't pick on Jay because your penis has been outed on the internet.
No, seriously, it's the stupidest thing you can say about juice, and I've heard it so many times from people reviewing juice and stuff like that. It really boils my piss. Everything's chemical, and juice is made of chemicals. Of course, it tastes chemically.
I think they're on about the lines of when you're washing like your kitchen and you can breathe in the chemical fumes. So
then say it tastes like cleaning products.
No.
Well, I've had a rhubarb and custard vape that was obviously pitched at
I'm the troll of the week. That was not a troll. You were fucking serious, and you know it.
Okay, back to the rhubarb and custard. I had a rhubarb and custard. It was pitched at obviously the boiled sweet, and that tasted like Mark said, for the first couple of drags, it tasted the rhubarb and custard, the sweet. But then it went very metallic. So I know what he means by the chemical flavour, because it's suddenly got a very metallic taste to it.
The best one I've ever tried was sluice juice, rhubarb and custard. And to be fair, I did vape the shit out of it. And then I can't even taste it anymore. I don't think. No. Strawberry lemonade.
You're better giving yourself a break and then going back to it in a few months. So.
Yeah.
I'll have another go tomorrow because I've not vaped a rhubarb and custard for a long time for that reason. However, have any of you tried the blackberry crumble from Dunlady?
Fuck off.
No.
Wow.
Is it nice?
Oh, it's incredible. Honestly, it is incredible. In fact,
is that a new one, or is this one of their old?
Now.
No, it's new. Is it as good as Dale's blackberry pie?
Of course, nothing's as good as Dale's blackberry pie.
I just think you'd have to try really fucking hard to beat that blackberry pie. I think if you're going to make a blackberry
Honestly,
vape, that's the one that you got to beat.
Try it. Get it in.
I thought the range of juice was fucking garbage.
Say again.
I thought the range of juice was garbage.
Whose?
The dinner ladies.
You see, there's been a lot in the news this week about dinner ladies. They've gone from 0 to 18 million in 12 months or something like that. Now, for me, I think dinner lady lived off one juice. The only juice that was any good at the time was the lemon tart.
Yeah.
The rest were all dog shit, in my opinion. Taste is subjective, but to me, the rest were dog shit. Now, a lot of other people have gone out and gone, let's do a lemon tart, and there's much better lemon tarts out there now.
True that.
Now, honestly, we stock dinner lady. We have to.
Of course you do.
We don't, but we do. Genuinely, you know me, I'm a fussy cunt when it comes to juice. The blackberry crumble is very good. So add to their 18 million and buy a bottle.
From vapesk.co.uk.
No, we don't stock them online. We only stock them in store.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Try and plug. You try and plug. Vapesk is a really good site to buy from, because what they do is they put Black Friday sales up and then accidentally leave them up for like a week and a half. and then only realise that they've left them up for too long when somebody orders 100 quid's worth of juice and only pays 50 quid for it.
I didn't even know the order had come in, Stu, and I'd seen that this particular person had put up saying, "Oh, thank you, Mr. Dolan, thank you for that, blah blah blah." I was like, "Huh? Didn't even see that." So I went back, trawled through the orders. It was like, "Son of a bitch."
You've got no excuse, because we actually mentioned it on the show last week, and you said you were going to change everything after the show.
So if anyone wants a bottle of Vulcan Bros, they're now full price. So dig
They will be going live on vulcanbros.co soon as well. The website's nearly finished.
Nice.
Order it from us, from the Vapor Bar, from vapesk.co.uk.
You won't have time. You won't have time with when you're going to be on Judge Rinder.
Shush you.
Vapesk ones are only a tenner still.
Oh, it's like that, is it?
They're not.
So yeah, we've all done what you vape on now, haven't we? Yeah, we've all done. Yeah, we wanted to talk about squonking a little bit, because we touch on squonking now and again, and I'm pretty sure the last time we spoke about squonking, I hated it, and now I fucking love it. So
I wasn't a fan either, I think. At that point.
You what?
I don't think I was a fan either at that point.
I mean, either. I think I dissed it as well. That I tried it and hated it.
Get it to work for you.
In fact, I'm going to look at the boner board to see where Squonking is.
Do you know what? Right, the funny thing is, before we get into it too much, the funny thing is about it all. Like, all the Squonker guys are always talking about how, like, build higher than you normally would, build single coil, use a 22mm ATI, and obviously we were all tube guys, so we come into it like, 24mm ATI, dual coil, 0.1, and it's shit. Trying to squonk that way is fucking terrible. It does not work. Like, it's just not the way to do it at all. And then you listen to these guys that are vaping, you know, to a tube guy, what you consider to be vaping like old men. I mean, like, even Marsky, what's the build that you got on that armor at the moment, mate?
0.45.
Exactly, like 0.4 single coil.
Single coil.
Yeah, like to tube guys, that's like an old man build. Like you would never touch it with a barge pole. And I mean, I've got both of these built at like 0.26. They're both pretty much the same build on here, and that's like,
I tend to run about 0.2, 0.3.
It's like double what I normally build at, and it's fucking bizarre. Like, it just works for some reason.
For me, it's about flavour now. It's not. I've had my cloud chasing days. I've done the bear clouds, bro. I'm now, well, nicotine, flavour.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I vape. Yeah.
Well, I've got Nike NI80 in there, and that's coming out at 0.55.
I think we need to buy Chandler a new camera. There it is. There it is.
We got
Got
it.
it.
Speak, Chandler.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just saying that's 0.55. So I mean that's even twice what you were going for.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's a funny one though. Like, it's sort of all of your intuition that you get from it just doesn't work when it comes to squonkers at all. I mean, Marksky, were you always? You've not always been into squonking, have you? For as long as you vaped, how did you used to vape before that?
I was well. I started on a CE4. Used that for ages. Then I went to a mini Nautilus with one of those old fucking stick batteries. Used that for a bit, and then I bought a sub tank mini, and then I started playing about with the rebuildable head. Quite enjoyed it, and then I bought a Squonkey RS. That was my first kind of high-end rebuildable, not a high-end as such, but it was my first proper sort of dedicated rebuildable tank. Used that for long enough, and then I got into squonking. So I never dripped. I never used a mech mod or or anything like that.
Because, see, I think I know what changed it for me. See, I was very much like clouds, bro, clouds, and I liked series, and I always liked hot vapes. But I noticed a few months ago that I wasn't getting enough nicotine, so I started to look into mouth to lung in more seriously. And probably for about the last 6 months or so now, maybe about 8 months, I've been getting more heavily into mouth to lung. And because once you're on like a high nicotine MTL, that's sort of what you use all day. And so you stop needing big, dense amounts of vapor. And then when you go back and try something that's a bit of a higher build, a bit less vapor, a bit cooler, suddenly it works for you. Has anyone else had that? Like that they couldn't stand it, and then when they started mouth to lunging, that was when they then sort of found that it worked better for them.
Hang on. Mark, I told you to message me.
Fuck it, I couldn't be arsed, man. I just fucking...
You sat in front of me.
I meant to actually order, I don't mean to interrupt, but I meant to order the bottles last week and I forgot. So I just reminded just now when you said the shop.
Hang on, I can do partial refunds here.
No, don't bother.
Please carry on.
So, as of recently, when everyone's trying to get into new squonky stuff, what's your favourite RDA alcohol you've had to go on?
That's a tough one. That is actually a tough one.
Favorite Squonk RDA?
Yeah, that you've had recently.
Mine. I'm just using my Entheon all the time. And again, that's not focusing, is it? Yeah, so that's my favorite at the moment.
I feel like mine is probably this.
What's that one?
The basic from 5As.
No, I do quite like this B2K, but this fucking mesh is brilliant.
See, I love the B2K, but the one thing that stops me from saying it's my favorite, I like pretty much everything about it. The flavor's good enough. I like the way it looks. I like all the features about it, but the tolerances on it are all too loose. Every single one of them, and it's not a deal breaker for me. Like, it's still a good RDA and it's still usable on a daily basis.
My tolerances are fucking tight as shit. Look.
But like literally tips of my fingers and this drip tip can come out. Look, like literally just touch it and it's out.
Look,
hang on.
The cap,
Tolerances. Solo, you ready for this?
well, that's what this is like. The basic
Tips come out.
tight as a motherfucker. Like, you're just not getting it off.
yes, my B2K is really tight.
Well, yours is the latest edition, so they probably tightened it up because they probably had feedback saying that they need to tighten it up. But I mean, even when you put it onto other stuff, like that's one of the 510 tips from the B2K on the basic, and it's still really, really easy to get in and out, like way too easy. So, you know, it's one of those things, like I couldn't call it my favorite because it, like, tolerances is quite a serious thing to, you know, for every single tolerance to be wrong, like the cap, the tips, adapters. It is, you know.
Mine's right.
But yeah, I think the basic's got to be the winner for me.
I'm also really liking this drop. Again, is my camera focusing?
I'm still not convinced by them.
Have you tried one?
5 years ago.
That's what?
I said it does look like it's from 5 years ago. That's my one issue with it.
So ugly.
It's very square. Well, square. It's round, but you know what I mean. It's straight up and across.
It really reminds me of vape patties.
But it's a really good vape, and I've done exactly what I promised on the right. Let's see if I can take this off with it. The tolerances on this are. I can't get the fucking top off. I put a single coil build in it, basically. There you go.
And that's an idea, and you can't get the cap off.
There you go.
Take an O-ring off.
Yeah, I think I will.
Something about Squonk RDAs though, even, you know, that Athena kit that I got, the RDA that comes with that, you can't get the fucking cap off for love nor money.
I like the Athena.
What's the armor cap like? Can you get that off?
The armor cap's brilliant, man. You just fucking just pull it. The O-rings are a good tension.
Oh yeah, no, that looks perfect. Yeah, that looks spot on.
Nah, it's good.
It's just something that really does my head in. I understand why they make the caps a bit tighter on squonkers. Like, I get it, because obviously if you over squonk, it's going to be full of juice, and then if you pull the cap off, it's all going to come flooding out. So, you know, I totally get it, but it just fucking annoys me. Just really winds me up when I can't take the cap. Because with me being quite new to squonking, I've only been using squonkers for a few months. I do still like to check my deck every now and again and just make sure that I'm like juiced up enough.
What bottles do you use?
It depends. I've got that one's got a mod maker bottle in it, if I remember rightly. What's this one? I think this one's got a mod maker bottle in it as well, actually. And then I use the Bone Vape ones as well.
I never take the cap off when I'm pressing the bottle. You learn almost. If you know how the squonk hole's a lot higher, if it's not on the deck, if it's a raised, like if the hole's raised up off the deck, then you know just a little light press and it'll just put enough in to wet the cotton.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a paranoia thing. I think I'm just, you know, still getting comfortable with it. I don't know.
Yeah, I get paranoid with the mesh RDA because everyone said that once you have a dry hit, it's like Satan's arsehole. But generally, where I've hollowed out the tunnel, you could literally just touch it and it's soaked right up to the coil, so it's not really an issue.
No, I suppose the biggest issue is the fact that you're still vaping a mesh RDA.
It's actually nice. Like,
it's not.
Do you have one?
We sell them in the shop. I've had a go on a lot of them.
I've had a go on one done right with a little tunnel hollowed out for you to squonk better.
I haven't squonked through one at all. I wouldn't use one as a squonk RDA. It's too big.
Your own silly fault then, isn't it?
It's too big. I don't understand why you'd squonk on it.
It's brilliant.
What's the one that's lighting up?
I've seen Mark light that up multiple times like an old Olympic torch. What's that?
I've got no idea.
I don't know. Pass. Mark, what you lighting up?
Light it up.
So what's everyone else's experiences with squonking at the moment then? Because Mark, you were a tube guy. Chris, you were more of a tube guy, weren't you?
I was, but then I've been on the Billet box for a year, so it was kind of hard to go back to it because mouth to lung, 45 milligram, it kind of become the thing. But it's all right. I mean, it's like, I don't know, you know, I would say if I knew what I know now, when I was younger, it's a bit like that.
Yeah.
Taking my building experience, my vaping experience, and sort of learned a lot better builds, a lot better stuff. So I think back when single coil was a thing before, so it went from single coil to dual coil back round again. I think if I'd have known how to build the way I can build now, then I would have liked it a lot more. I sort of, I learned to build and learned how to vape the way I liked it.
Try and load this thumb.
Huh?
What's Marksky doing?
So he's muted, his camera's off.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I sort of taught myself to build how I wanted to with dual coil. So it was a bit weird to start with, but I think that's why I didn't enjoy the Trinity. I had the Trinity and I had the Galactic. No, Galactica make the boxes.
Galactica make the
box called? What's their box called?
Vega.
The Vega 2, I think. I
had a Vega 2. I got one. I picked one up off of Alan Henderson. That was my first proper Squonk box, and I hated it.
Yeah, I fucking hated it. The Trinity.
But again, I was using a Pindad 22, and I was trying to build at 0.1 on the dual with it, and it's like it doesn't work. The coils are like this far from the drip tip. You can't put 0.1 on a dual coil on a fucking box like that.
No, see, this is the problem I had because the Trinity is very much more mouth to lung or very restricted lung here. It was it was a bit of a pain.
Thanks, love.
So I tried putting a bigger coil in it. It didn't really work, and now I sort of know how I should have built it, but I don't have it anymore. Well, no, I do. I have the RDA, but I haven't bothered.
You don't need big coils to get decent flavour. Like
You don't even need super low resistances to get heat.
this 0.45 build that I've got, it's got on a fresh battery. It's nice and warm. Like it's not roasting, but it's got a bit of heat to it. It's good.
Has the armor inside? Has the armor got a really condensed chamber?
Not really. I mean, it's got a single coil reducer in it, so that's obviously going to reduce it a little bit. But it does.
I know, like, for example, inside there, I'm not going to try and wrestle the cap off, but inside there, there's fuck all room. Like, it's really, really tight in there. So the same build feels hotter and more flavorful on there than it does on there because there's a lot more room for the air to swirl around in there.
Mine's is like, look, I don't know if that'll focus. Like, there's not a lot of room. Like,
yeah, that looks pretty dense in there.
Yeah. But this is 0.45. The battery's probably, I don't know, it's probably got about 3.9 volts in it, but it's still cooking, like.
Yeah, it's not messing around, is it?
No.
Yeah.
Stu, have you got any squonk pins for your Vulcan yet?
Very, very soon.
I'm just interested to see what your take would be to go from a dripping RDA to using exactly the same RDA on a squonk. Do you think you're going to use it differently?
Well, I think you'll still have to build it dual coil. I think that RDA is, because it's a 25 mil, I think you'll still have to build it dual coil, but I think you're going to want to be, for squonking, probably somewhere around sort of 0.15 to 0.18, I reckon, which, you know, by tube vapor standards is actually quite high. I think sort of 0.15 to 0.18 on the dual coil. But with the flavor cap, because the airflow is so reduced on it, I think that'll work really well. So we're literally like days off from the prototype squonk pins arriving. So I'm actually really excited to try that. The only problem I've got at the moment is it's 25 mil and I ain't got any boxes that are 25 mil.
You might have shortly.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Your box has got a slight overhang even with just the plate.
Yeah, the plate overhangs very slightly.
And that's 24 mil. So 25 mil I think it's going to have a lip on it.
It will still be flush with the side of the box because it's 26 mil
like
box.
A rounded taper.
Yeah.
So
Be fine.
All right, just wait. I'm working on a 2600. That's on a 2700, and that'll be wider.
Ooh.
I've not been convinced by the 2700 range yet. Like, I don't think there's any need for them.
I think 2700s are great if you use them right. They seem to really like low, but not as low as most tube vapers seem to want to vape. Like most tube guys want to go sort of 0.1, 0.09, 0.08, and 2700s don't like that at all. They want sort of 0.13 seems to be the sweet spot. So they're a bit of a funny one for squonkers, I think, because I don't think they put down their power very well at sort of 0.3, 0.4. But around the sort of 0.13, 0.15 mark, they put down their power really, really nicely.
Well, the one.
Sorry, Chandler.
It's all right. The one I want to try is the Samsung A, the one that's about 16 amp, rated at 16 amps, but it's like. Is that the B? That's the one I want to try because that's like 4,000 milliamp hours. And with a 0.5 build, I'm going to be well within the 16 amps.
Oh yeah, easily. So, I was running 30 Qs on one of my on that. I was running 30 Qs on that at 0.26, and they're mega. If you don't build low on them, 30 Qs are mega. They hit hard as fuck.
Yeah, I was just wondering because I mean, 40, it's effectively doubling the battery life that you'll get from a VTC 5A. So I just thought that would just be awesome. But I want to try it and see what it's like.
I only use one mod a day, and I'm two 18650 a day. So I'll use a fresh one in the morning, and then round about 3 o'clock I'll put another one in, and then that does me till the following till I go to my bed. So really carrying one extra battery about it's no real hardship. Plus it means that the mods are kept small, the form factor's a bit smaller.
Yeah.
5As are fine for me, fine for my needs.
To be fair, I mean 5As are absolutely bulletproof. You know, it's very hard to not find an application that they do well in.
Yeah.
So what's your favourite Squonk RDA, Mark Ski?
What's that, sorry?
What's your favourite Squonk RDA?
It has to be the Armour. Like it's the one that I use. I use it every single day. I use it all day. It's I like the post. I like the deck. It's really easy to build. It's got a single coil reducer. Cap's really cool. The fit and finish is good, even though it's made in China. It's still fucking. Well, mind you, they can make as good as stuff as anything, but.
Well, what do they retail at?
$95. So it's quite reasonably priced. It's not expensive. I don't think it's expensive.
Quite steep for China made, though, isn't it? What does it come with?
It comes with your spares, single coil reducer, 510 adapter, and a kind of chuff. I think it comes with a chuff tip as well.
No, the chuff tip's extra, isn't it?
Is it? I can't remember.
I think with mine, I bought the chuff tip extra.
Right. Oh, in fact, it comes with it's not a 510. It's a integral. It's a 510 size, but it's an integral tip. So it's not a 510 fitting. The bore's 510, I think, but it's an integral tip. So the top cap, the drip tip's like that kind of shape. But I think the bore's 510.
Bit like the Amphion.
Probably similar. But it's good. I mean, the options. There's loads of options available. You can have a cloud cap, and you can have a cloud inner chamber. So you can mix and match. I've heard that the cloud cap with the standard inner chamber is supposed to be quite nice. I've never tried it personally, but it works for me. I enjoy it. I did like the Solo, but I gave that away a few weeks ago. That's a good Atty as well.
Yeah, I'm gagging to get my hands on one of them.
I can get you one.
On what? Sorry.
Speak to me after the show. I'll order you one.
So that's Juice and a Solo I've got to talk to you about.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Cheers, man.
I want. No, I don't know what I want.
Anything that you don't have to pay for?
Yeah, I paid for everything I've been using over the last couple of weeks.
I quite fancy an old mod enema. The enema. I don't fancy an enema.
Nice.
I really wanted another one.
But it's not going to happen. So I'm gonna
Yeah, they look nice. I think the current unicorn for me is a Kymec, but
you pick up some nice clothes, Stu.
yeah, I've seen the clones. SXK are making one, aren't they?
I had a customer come in the other day, and he got literally exactly the same setup as me, but in the clone version.
Nice.
It wasn't.
Chinesium contacts, or was it full-blooded Japamantium?
Yeah, you could certainly tell the difference. To be fair, it wasn't bad for a clone.
Yeah, I mean, you do get some pretty decent standard clones. The quality of clones these days doesn't often come under question.
I know, Mark and I, we had a conversation a while back, didn't we? I sent you over some price lists and stuff from...
Say that again, sorry?
I sent you over a price list, didn't I, of one of the China contacts?
Yeah, that's right. I remember that was for all the different mods and that is and stuff.
I think wholesale on a Kymec, it was about $12–13, something like that.
Yeah. I think it's probably the price just reflects that these guys have factories and warehouses where they can just pump out as many as they fucking want, but obviously the original guy who created the product's probably not able to make that amount, so they have to price it more expensive, or it's maybe.
That's one thing about the squonk industry. It's very, very, very much tailored towards cottage industry. You know, where by buying this stuff, okay, they're expensive, but you're paying for a man's time. You're paying for a man's, you know, design. You know, and we talk about vaping being a community, and I'm more than happy to support.
I use this this Never Done. It says the group's called Mamod. It's made of Spectraply, so it's loads and loads of wooden veneers that are all bonded together, and then the whole block is hot resin pressed, and then you're able to obviously CNC it or however Joe makes it. The whole thing's so it's completely handmade, and then it's finished off the French polished. It's got a switch fit in it under a bit of carbon fiber on it. So Mod Maker 510, but it takes Joe, I think it takes about 3 or 4 days to make one, purely because it's made by hand, and I think the finishing part is that takes the longest. But it cost me 220 quid. So if you think 220 quid for sort of 3 or 4 days work, for a proper carpenter, it's not a massive amount of money. Like,
no, I mean that's not even making day rate. You have to be able to churn out a couple of them during that time to make decent day rate.
so
I mean, I always say that skilled labour has to be worth at least £10 an hour. If minimum wage is £7.60, then skilled labour, you know, something that actually requires specialist training and a bit of background and a lot of practice to be good at, has to be worth at least £10 an hour. So if you're valuing things at the minimum, it's materials plus £10 an hour for the person doing the work, and then shipping, handling, VAT, packaging, all that kind of stuff, you know. And I think when you look at it that way, it's very easy to justify the sort of 200–300 quid that some mods cost.
You see, I'm not going to mention names, but there are some out there that started from nothing, have got very, very, very popular. And at the end of the day, they are a 3D printed mod or an alumide printed mod. those I don't get. You know, okay, the internals may be fabulous, the 510 might be incredible, blah 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 blah, but at the end of the day, it's a 3D printed mod. That irritates me. Not irritates me, because fair play, because obviously there's time gone into the design, but you know,
The market's saturated with them.
but some of the Italian, and again, I'm not mentioning any names. Some of the Italian mods that are 3D printed that have got themselves hyped up to fuck. People are going daft. The Americans are paying £2,000 a piece for a fully engraved one. You know, at the end of the day, it's just a 3D printed mod with a bit of engraving on, and I appreciate them. They look nice. You know, I've got many a customers with them, and they look nice.
I'll tell you, well, a good example of like people that are doing it right. Mike Dacus, Abstract Mods.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Now he's using blocks from Pizzazz and Mr. Bonner, which they're all fucking lovely blocks. And for a switch fet Squonker, single 18650 in stab wood, he's charging 240 quid. None of us is going to bat an eyelid at that. 240 quid is absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. He put a post up with those prices on, and he actually said in his public post, I'm going to do my best to get those prices down because I appreciate that they're a bit high. I was like, are you fucking mental? Those prices are more than reasonable.
What's it for?
For the Dacus mod.
It's the single 8650 Squonker.
He's a madman.
He hand makes every single one of them. The blocks are gorgeous.
I tell you what I really like is, I'm not sure if this will come up on screen, but the mod that I'm using just now, the guy who makes them put 5 or 6 up for randomizer the other day. But this one's fucking well smart.
Pull back a bit.
That looks very similar to the kind of stuff that I'm having my one made out of.
It's a kind of magenta and grey Spectraply one.
That's beautiful.
Oh, nice.
Is that made by the same people that made your green one?
What's that, sorry?
Is that made by the same people that made your green one?
It's a guy called Joel Seaton. Joel used to live in London. He lives out in Spain now. He was a carpenter. Did the custom furniture and stuff like that. He's a really talented guy. He makes. He used to do conversion kits for. He used to do conversion BF kits for MATs and a few other RDAs back in the day. But he mills his own. He does his own top cap, custom top caps for Hakus or basically anything you want. He can turn them out.
Nice.
Clever guy though. It's good.
Sorry, just typing back to chat.
You're just talking to chat.
Yeah, sorry. Shall we move on to something else? Because I know we've got a couple of topics to fit in. I just wondered if it's worth.
Posted your pack in.
You, too soon, man. Too soon. Someone literally right at the top of the show, somebody referenced it as well. We must have been about 3 minutes in, and somebody.
We spent a good 10 minutes arguing about this before.
That's why we were late, to be fair.
We're not going to talk about it this week. Let's talk about it next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, next week when there's a bit more info.
I still want to talk about it now, though.
What was Chandler? You wanted to bring something up, though, didn't you? You had an actual topic, didn't you?
I had I've got a couple. I think one's relatively quick. I wanted your opinion on. This will be controversial just in the first place. Totally Wicked.
I've got no problem with them.
Well, I don't. I mean, I used Totally Wicked years back because effectively at that point it was buy your stuff from Totally Wicked or don't get it at all. But you know, Totally Wicked went over to America. They were the first vape company that had that were selling in the UK and the USA.
Correct.
And about a while back, when the FDA regs kicked in, they were very quick on the mark to say that they were going to. That's it. They're done. August 2018, and they were shutting up shop and leaving the USA. So they were bailing. However, interestingly, they've just posted another post, and they're now not going to bail. They're going to carry on.
Well,
So
they must have known that from like the 15th of October, because that was the new deadline for the submission. So.
Well, I was going to say, we have to bear in mind that PMTA submission dates were moved. So businesses may have looked at it and said, there's no way we can make any money before the PMTA applications have to be in, and we're not going to do the PMTAs, so let's quit. And then later, when the dates were moved, said, actually, we can make some money, and decided to stick at it. So I can kind of understand it.
it's, yeah, I'm just trying to see the...
Was this an opportunity to slug off Totally Wicked, or?
It was your opinion. It was I heard about it on the it was on the Culture of Clouds podcast. It was Grim Green who no, it wasn't actually. It wasn't on the Culture of Clouds podcast. It was on one of his vlogs, and he mentioned it, and he was saying how it made him feel a little bit kind of. Okay, you were going, but now everything's getting a little bit rosy. You're just coming back again.
It's fair play. You've got to. I've publicly announced my thoughts on Totally Wicked and also their wholesale company UK Vapor brands in the early days. Had one or two issues, court orders, etc., etc. However. They've sorted their shit out as far as the wholesale goes, and I actually buy from them again. They're good as gold.
Can I just ask, Chandler, are you a magician?
Why?
I've never really perved at your profile pictures, but
you're perving at my profile pictures.
Well, it was more the fact I went on your profile and it said the amazing Chandler in brackets.
Oh, he's a sexy.
Yes, I did work as an entertainer at one point. Yes, I did.
That's like what a Redcoat's Butlin's Redcoat would say. Are you a fucking magician?
Yes.
You can't sugarcoat anything with saying entertainer. No, the reason
I can juggle. I can juggle and ride a unicycle.
Yeah, but do you magic?
I can do a little bit of magic, yes.
So I used to do table magic for weddings.
Did you?
Yeah.
He used to play.
Awesome. I did table hopping. I used to work for a nightclub. I used to go and do table hopping magic in a nightclub.
Busy kids at Butlins.
It wasn't. I don't know if you've heard of the lead mill in Sheffield.
No. I also saw you're from Whiz Beach. That must have been a tough childhood.
It was a fucking nightmare, I tell you.
Whiz Beach is a dump. No offense to anyone from Whiz Beach.
No, I completely agree with you, and I am allowed to say that because that's where I grew up. Yeah, it's in the arse end of nowhere. It's halfway between.
It's pronounced that way.
Yeah, everyone tries to call it Whizbech.
Oh, I thought Whizbeck, I assumed.
Whizbeck, no, it's Whiz Beach.
And it's
like Uzbekistan.
What the fuck?
A book is a written or printed work of fiction or non-fiction, usually on.
Alexa.
Tonight.
And I've just got an instant message from Jimmy Parker telling me to fuck off. Basically because he lives in Wisbech.
Oh yeah,
Wisbech is lovely. It's got a fantastic vape shop called e-cig Zoo.
It's got an incredible road leading out of it.
A47, yeah. Yeah, goes
I
kind
love
of.
this. As soon as Chris has talked about being able to do magic, the comments in the chat are like, "What? Make a bucket of chicken disappear? Make food disappear?" It's so good. We fuck with him so much, so consistently that even the chat are taking part.
To be honest, I can make a bucket of chicken disappear. That's not a joke. But that wasn't my party trick.
That's just observation.
That I couldn't do that at a dinner party. Well, I could, I suppose, if KFC was on the menu, but
Yeah, just walk around eating a bucket of chicken. That'd entertain people.
Yeah,
it
can see that.
entertained me.
See, you were talking about Totally Wicked. I don't think we have any of them up here. I've never seen one.
You got vaporized up there, don't you?
Vaporized have invaded England. Totally Wicked have not invaded Scotland.
Yeah.
I think we dodged a bullet, though, to be fair. Vaporized is definitely the better of the two. So
I was in the Totally Wicked last year with Todd, the one in Shrewsbury, and it was a fucking dump. Like they were using CE4s for testers with all their max VG stuff, and
Fuck's sake.
do you remember? Do you know if you go into like a really old fucking man's pub, and you used to get the cardboard rack on the back wall with all the fucking peanuts on it?
yeah,
That's what the CE4s were stuck in. It was like a old cardboard peanut rack, and the guy would pull out the CE4, screw it on a mod, and it was like 80 VG, 20 PG, and it's like, how the fuck's that going to work in that?
the Totally Wicked are so behind. I didn't even know who Todd was. I bet
The guy had no idea who he was.
that's it. They're so far behind. I remember they brought out a Max VG line. Oh, this was 2015, maybe before then. Yeah, they brought out this Max VG line, but they used AG, like Aqueous VG. Whatever.
Water.
Yeah, aqueous glycerin.
Water.
Yeah, basically watered down, and it was fucking so bad.
To be fair, on the shops, a lot of the Totally Wicked shops are franchises.
Yeah,
I've been to the original one in Blackburn, where the factory is, and the shop itself there is fine. They know what they're on about in there. I've been in there a couple of times and getting stuff, but
you see, like a lot of Vaporized a franchise, but they know their shit.
The thing is with Totally Wicked though, like you have to allow them a certain amount of grace. They're not really here for hobbyists and enthusiasts. They're here just to give people some bags. You know what I mean? Like people like us shouldn't be impressed when we go into a Totally Wicked. If we go into a Totally Wicked and we're impressed, that says more about us than them.
Well, I'm coming from the. You know, I've been vaping since 2010. So
Who uses Tesco's cotton balls, for fuck's sake?
I'm still using Tesco's cotton balls. That was my other topic for today.
Up,
There you go. But anyway, we'll get back to that.
Seriously, I thought you were taking the piss.
No,
No, I'm not taking the piss. I'm not taking the piss. No, I want your opinion on it.
Why it was confusing because Mark put up like a sarcastic post, and then you put that up, and I couldn't tell whether you were being sarcastic or serious. Then I remember you said your daughter was 7, and I thought if you had cotton balls to clean her bum and she's 7, then there's something wrong. You're definitely vaping them. That's what I said. Is he vaping them? And you were like, yeah.
To be fair, I haven't vaped them I haven't used them to vape on for about a year and a half. But that is the bag. That is the bag that I bought.
You haven't needed to buy any more for a year and a half, you mean?
No.
Balls in there.
Yeah.
I think I used those for about the first 2 days I was vaping 4 years ago.
Yeah. This goes back. This goes to kind of goes in with a point that when it was in 2013, I think was it the Tayfun GT came out, and I got a rebuildable Tayfun GT. And at that point, you could not buy Vapor's cotton.
You could get Muji.
Try get
I did.
Maybe,
I got shitloads of the stuff.
Yeah, but you had to get it from Fast Tech, and it took fucking 400 weeks to
No,
arrive.
you ordered on a website. You assumed it was coming from China, and it wasn't. It actually came from the UK, and you could get like 14 tons of the stuff for £12.50.
And they made it look like a Japanese website, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
what mine from. And it used to come in a big pack, and it had Japanese writing on the front. Yeah, it was legit.
I'm pretty sure you could buy like a pillowcase worth for a £5.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fuck all. Yeah, it's absolutely fuck all.
And to be honest,
Basically,
fucking Tesco cotton balls.
I bought cotton balls to go into to use in my Tayfun because that's what everyone was using. I know some people were using Muji, but most people were using cotton balls. That's what you did.
That's why I thought
And then
Chandler probably still uses Boots VG.
yeah, well, I don't now. I wouldn't object to it because I've never found anything wrong with the Boots VG.
Well, Chemist
VG for God's
the
sake.
same stuff that we use.
It is the same stuff.
No,
And
those posts that you see when people just started vaping, they'll be like, "Is this safe to mix juice with?" I mean, it doesn't happen so much now because juice is so easily accessible. But when I fucking first started vaping, there was about 6 brands that were worth getting, and the rest were all just dog shit.
yeah, well, basically what happened was I ran out of my cotton bacon. I just ran out and didn't have any, and it was like, right, well, I need something. And I found that I thought, oh well, I'll just use this cotton ball. It'll be all right. And then it'll last me until I can buy some more cotton. So I got that cotton out, wicked it up, and I found
2020.
I found out that when I started vaping on it, there was no cotton flavor. And I bought some more cotton bacon and tried it back to back, and I prefer those cotton balls to cotton bacon.
Cotton bacon tastes like bleach. Cotton bacon is gash.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It says on cotton bacon, and I'm looking. This is when I suddenly decided, right, I'm going to look into it. And the people say, well, you've got to have vaping cotton because it's organic. Nowhere does cotton bacon say it is organic.
I'd rather vape a tampon than cotton bacon, and I'm not even specifying whether it's used or not.
Has anyone tried Royal Wick?
Yes.
You have, Mark.
Yes.
Do you like it?
No.
I think it's great.
The other cotton I've been trying is the Cloud Kicker. Comes in a tin, and you get little
CKS
strips.
are doing cotton now. Is there anything CKS aren't making?
CKS have been doing cotton for ages. Where have you been?
Really nowhere that sells CKS cotton.
They've actually stopped doing that. I know the UK have still got supplies of this, but in the US you can't get this anymore. They're not making it.
And
Well, I'm just a fanboy sheep bitch, and I make fuzz.
Do you know the best cotton I've ever used? Celtic cotton or Celtic cotton, and it was in a green baggie, and you get like 5 like Muji pad shape, and they were fucking about £8 for 5 pads, but they were so fucking good.
I always found Celtic to have no tensile strength whatsoever. You pull it through your coil, and fucking half of it comes out in this hand, and the other half of it's still at the start of your coil.
Must have been clone Celtic then.
We don't have cotton up here yet. We're not that advanced. We just fucking pull a shoelace through a coil and
just use that.
Saying that, there's that fucking stupid cotton with the shoelace ends, isn't there? That Chris likes.
Actually,
Chris fucking loves that stuff.
no, I'm not saying I love it. It's very convenient and it's not bad. It's better than fucking cotton bacon. But yeah, Stuart Cooper's just said native Wicks Platinum Blend. That is also fucking very, very, very good cotton.
Yeah, I like it.
You side by side that with Fuzz.
Ah, yeah, Fuzz is fucking brilliant as well, though.
John, one cotton that I cannot stand is that cellulose stuff.
Might interest you all to know that I've got cotton coming out soon. There's a little exclusive.
Why are you putting your finger in so many pies?
Just
You should be putting it in your missus because your willy's too small.
real nice. It's real nice, Chris.
So my question is, what is wrong with using?
Is that a tampon?
This is the 89p cotton ball I've just undone.
The problem is it's bleached.
Like your asshole.
And how do I know how do I know that or that isn't because they are both white? I assume they are both bleached.
It's a good point.
Possibly.
We don't know. We hope that it's not.
I'm with Stuart Leg, mate. Belly button fluff for the win.
However,
Well, your belly button's as deep as yours, Chris. You've got plenty of fucking go around.
I won't.
Belly button is deeper than your cock is long. You literally could walk into a wall with a hard on and break your nose.
That is true, but I've got a massive nose. Look at the size of that.
Exactly, bigger than your cock. Postman.
Can we get back to this?
That is gas all up here, isn't it? Anyway, carry on.
Either way, I won't even stock cotton bacon because it's that bad.
Terrible.
Where was my point? Cotton candy. Yeah.
Candy's fine. It's shady, but it's fine.
Do you pre-boil it?
Pre-boil it. Pre-boil it. This is another one. Boil it. What the fuck? What?
Pre-boil it at the same time as you charge your batteries in the microwave.
Why would you pre-boil cotton?
To get rid of the bleach.
I have right. I've bought because obviously before like 5 years ago when I was buying it, it was cotton balls was all I could get my hands on. So I've been through, and I know that there is certain brands of cotton balls that is just completely unvapeable because it tastes like shit. Yeah. There is some brands that do taste. This stuff does not taste. It tastes cleaner than cotton bacon.
So the Tesco vape balls,
and also the ones from not Wicks. Oh, for crap's sake! I bought it in Wimwell. Rob, what's the shop in Wimwell?
Wicks.
There you go in chat.
Wicks is a garden centre, isn't it?
No, yeah, Wicks. I don't mean Wicks. Wilco's. There you go. Wilco's cotton balls. Spot
To be
on.
fair though, Mark, if you're going to vape your 12 milligram toilet duck and you use bleached cotton, you've got half the bathroom covered in your vape there, haven't you?
My juice is clear. My juice is clear.
Oh, you're on call now, aren't you? You've gone for the toothpaste.
Wilco's. Thanks, Rob. There you go.
The V4 is incredible.
Well,
I saw something really funny the other day. I screenshotted it and I can't find it.
Are we gonna mention next day batteries? Is that something we wanted to mention?
Yeah.
Did anyone else hear about this? About the next day batteries thing?
Are they not a dodgy company?
Yeah, they're back apparently. I must say before we go on to this, the person that is putting around this information, they are claiming to have proved it and are using a screenshot to prove it, but the screenshot doesn't actually prove it because the screenshot doesn't have any context with which to prove it. But it looks like next day batteries are still trading under a new name. Which, if it's true, obviously is a problem and people need to know, which is why we're going to talk about it. But apparently they are trading under the name vapebatteries.com. This might not be accurate. I do have to put that disclaimer in there. This might not be accurate, but it looks like it's accurate.
You need to be careful because you'll get sued otherwise.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying allegedly and why I'm saying it looks like it. Because
all you have to do is just look at all you have to do is match up the address on the website.
Yeah,
it's traded under the same address and it's the same company.
Now I saw this. I just checked my phone to see if I took a screenshot because I know I meant to. I saw. I'm not mentioning any names. The owner of Next Day Battery posted in a group earlier asking for forgiveness. And he was booted from the group. He got abuse and booted from the group.
What was he asking for forgiveness for, just out of curiosity?
For fucking up.
Fucking up what, though? What exactly did he say?
Oh, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. You can forgive literally everything. Whilst it's negligence, you can even forgive negligence. You know, we fuck up and we forget to do our checks sometimes, right? But to send out fake charges and then replace them with fake charges, that's the point where you run out of forgiveness, isn't it? Because at the point that you've been caught out sending out fake chargers and you're apparently really sorry and it was a massive accident, you then check all your chargers to make sure you ain't got any fake chargers, don't you? That's what you do.
Colette's just said, I got an email from Next Day Battery today and how they have reviews on their site going back 8 months, all 5 stars apart from 1. Trustpilot, I remember going through the Trustpilot and they were marking spam on Trustpilot, some of Trustpilot reviews. Go through and look through on the Trustpilot website and Next Day Batteries.
I use Ben Mowbray, 18650.uk. Always do fine for me.
Fogstar, I use Fogstar for wholesale. They supply all our batteries. They've got a fantastic new system with a single battery, single 18650 box. It sounds as though, not that we're talking about batteries, that's trading standards are looking at batteries now, and they need to be packaged correctly. They need to be listed correctly. They need to come up with the correct instructions, the correct stickers, the correct boxes, blah 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 blah. And Fogstar are all over that. Fogstar, to me, are bang on. You know, for me to buy batteries in the UK, we always bought our batteries from China. Always, always, always. But you know what? I trust Fogstar and we pay a little bit extra. But I know we're getting quality. I know we're supported by them.
Another funny one. Another really funny one. Has anyone seen that ODB battery wraps have been cloned? Not cloned, but there's another company that's released battery wraps that are all like designy. And obviously ODB battery wraps paid to be able to use things like Pickle Rick and stuff like that. So they're actually licensed to use all that stuff. And there's another company that's come out with a jazzed up battery wrap. And then along the bottom where ODB have got their logo on the, have I got an ODB wrap here? I think I've got, yeah, I've got one here. So ODB wraps have their name here, and they have like a little bit of text above, like above and below, as you can see. And this new company, it's like 3 different letters with like different text above and below, but it's in exactly the same place, and they're all like jazzed up battery wraps. And I thought that was fucking hilarious. Like,
are they battery wraps not quite expensive?
ODBs are expensive. Yeah, these Chinese ones, I'm assuming they're Chinese, are cheap. But I just thought it was really fucking funny. Like, who clones a battery wrap?
Yeah, but do you have these battery wraps?
I thought they were for Billet for his Christmas present.
Ah, I've nicked 2 though. I bought him 10. I think 8 will do. He only uses a day.
How much are the ODB battery wraps?
$4.50 for 4, I think, is retail.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, whereas these clone ones are like £1.50 for 2. So
I've seen them at $3.99 for 4. So
yeah,
they're effectively £1 a piece. Yeah.
$3.99 will get you about 50 on eBay.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going for either the Chinese knockoff ones or the plain coloured vinyl ones, then yeah, well,
or the traditional superhero ones. Everyone's got those. You can get those all over the place.
How about the Minion ones?
It is worth noting that the ODB wraps are made of a completely different construction to standard battery wraps, and they do shrink really, really easy. They're actually very, very good for application. The only thing I will say about ODB wraps is that they also do tear quite easily, unfortunately.
Yeah, I tore 3 out of 12 just using a hairdryer.
Yeah, they do tear quite easily.
Those Supreme battery wraps, I think they were something like 30 cents each. I got 10. It was like $3, and then postage was about 30 because I got it from the States. I
paid postage.
I think I paid 10 times more in postage than I did for the battery wrap.
That is pretty fucking mad, though, isn't it? That people are now cloning battery wraps. I mean, we've seen it with all sorts. The dock tips have been cloned recently.
Oh, I know this will interest you, Stu. Did you see a pickle mod come up recently?
No, I didn't.
Mod.
We'll continue this conversation after the show, though.
Is it blue vein?
Stuart Legg, I like the fake Trustfire wraps you can get to stick on a decent battery and freak people out. Yeah, I think they're.
I've got loads of them. Well, are they Trustfire? They're the silver and red ones.
Yeah.
No, Ultra Fire, the ones I've got are.
Ultra fires.
Yeah, I bought 20 of them.
I think that's such a good troll. Such a good troll.
I wrapped up loads of good batteries and I stuck them in like series boxes, and I was like,
especially if you're like at Fest or something where some cunt always runs out of batteries and needs to borrow one.
well, I was on the Team Hotwires team when I got those wraps, and the Team Hotwires team, they just released 20 gauge Hotwires, which was unheard of. And you know, 5 wrap 20 gauge was like 0.4, so I did like a 5 wrap dual coil 20 gauge hot wires, and I stuck those wraps in a series box, and I did a hand check, and everyone went fucking ape shit. That would have got troll of the week if that was now.
Yeah,
I'll just be a wee second. I'm just going to grab a bottle of juice for my squonker.
Grab a bottle of whiskey for me.
Fuck off.
Honestly, I don't know if he's comfortable with me showing the picture, otherwise I'd show it, but that fucking whiskey collection he's got is insane. Like, jizz in your pants insane.
It's got to be pretty much boner o'clock, hasn't it? We're dragging on tonight. It's 10 to 10.
Yeah, I think because I ideally I do fancy doing a hangouts for about half an hour or something afterwards. So yeah, I think we should boner. You can get the boner all up. I think I'll go first.
Yeah, I can do some little screen sharing.
Boner.
Stu,
That's that juice there I was vaping.
Stu, I've just dropped a photo in the presenters.
That's quite nice, actually.
You've dropped a photo in the presenters chat.
Yeah.
Right.
Should I just do a shout out here, actually?
Oh.
I'm not going to name.
Now I see why you're pointing it out to me. Yeah, along with fucking Sonic the Hedgehog and all that lot. Yeah, fair play, mate.
It actually looks quite cool, though, to be fair. Anyway, yeah, I was going to do a shout out to one of my friends who earlier got himself in a bit of hot water when he was obviously trying to share a Ronnie style video with his friends. So for those of you who don't know, Ronnie sends the dodgiest videos I've ever seen to us. My friend was obviously trying to share one of these videos, these type of videos, with one of his friends. When you click forward on Facebook Messenger, the first option before it has like your contacts to send it to, it has add to my day.
No!
So he added a smut video to his Facebook story for 17 hours before he knew.
Was that the one of the snowman and a woman being paid to fuck a snowman in the middle of...
Yeah, it had a big rubber dick sticking out the side of a snowman, and some woman was having a go on it. And it was on his Snapchat story, and it was hilarious. But yeah, let's go into bonus.
Can I say something before we go into bonus? Because I don't necessarily want to boner this because it's not relevant to the vape industry, but something I want to discuss. Shit, look at the time. Something I want to discuss very briefly is Bitcoin.
How the hell are you going to discuss this briefly?
Very briefly, I'm just, you know what, I am going to boner it. I am going to boner it because there's a hell of a lot of talk in the vaping industry. Hang on, sorry, Chris, I've jumped in on.
It's all right, you ignorant wanker. I wish you jumped in that quick when it comes to sending out shit to me.
Oh, I'll send you a box of tissues as well.
No, because last time I got any tissues in a package. Dale from the Yorkshire Vapor had sent me a box full of shit, like coat hangers, sugar from like McDonald's coffee, and then there was a really conspicuous tissue in there with a brown stain on it.
Refresh.
Refresh what?
Oh, sorry, Stu, refresh.
Oh, I got to refresh. I was stretching my legs while the camera was off me.
Mark, have you got anything on a boner? Mark Ski, have you got anything on a boner you can think of while we do ours?
Listen, I don't have anything, but someone can go just now and I'll think of something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you go last, and then you can think of anything you might want to add to the boner board.
So it's been apparent that there's a lot of people in the industry, in the vaping industry, jumping on the Bitcoin train. I've looked into it. I contemplated adding Bitcoin as a payment option through Vape. What are your thoughts, guys? There's a lot of people allegedly making a lot of money.
I summed up my thoughts on Dale's post about it on Facebook this week. Basically, no one, and I mean literally no one, whether they claim to be an expert or not, can make any claims about Bitcoin, positive or negative. It's existed for about almost 20 years now, and it's only had any external data produced on it since 2014. 3 years of external data is not enough to make any kind of financial claims about its stability, about its profitability, about its longevity. If 3 years of data isn't enough for us to make solid claims about vaping, you know, back in like 2010, 2011, we wouldn't have got away with making any solid health claims about vaping like we can now because there's been good studies. So,
to be fair though, before those studies were out, we were still making those claims.
Well, I wasn't.
Well, you're telling me that you didn't think that vaping was safer before that?
I said I thought it, but I wasn't making claims to people. I was saying I feel better on it. That's completely different. What I'm saying is that there is no such thing as an authority on Bitcoin. There is no such information that you can obtain about Bitcoin that is reliable at this stage. The data doesn't exist. It's as simple as that. So there's no point in having an opinion on Bitcoin. Your opinion doesn't mean anything.
I mean, to be honest, I've got a friend who's always going on about Bitcoin, and he posted about getting a payday early, and I commented saying, well, how much did you actually get? And he didn't reply. That sums up Bitcoin to me.
Chris, I know the person that you're talking about, and I know he's made good money.
Fair enough. But in 2010, a man bought 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoins. Can we just have a minute of silence for that?
At the end of the day,
he paid potentially $100 million for 2 pizzas.
At the end of the day, if your definition of proof is shallow enough, you can prove anything with anecdotes. Okay? Until hard data exists on a long enough time scale to be reliable, it doesn't mean.
That's just a long-winded way of saying I'm on the fence.
No, it's not. It's my way of saying that opinions are irrelevant at this stage. Look at internal combustion. Look at internal combustion. When internal combustion was first invented, oh, it's noisy, it's dangerous, it will never take off, no one's going to be into it. Now, do you know anyone that hasn't got a car?
You.
Well, right. Do you know? Can you name a single street where there are no cars? Have you ever seen a street where there are no cars?
I've seen plenty of streets where there are no cars, mate. I live in fucking Scotland. There's plenty of streets that don't even have buildings on them.
You understand the point I'm trying to make, though.
We get you. Anyway, I think it shouldn't even be on the boner board for a start, but I think overnight experts are bullshit. I think the currency in itself is irrelevant, and I think realistically, who gives a fuck?
You know what? Rob Hardman just said Coronation Street. I thought exactly the same when he said, "Do you know any streets without any cars?" And Coronation Street, Sesame Street.
Sesame Street is definitely true. I don't watch politics, it's bollocks.
Are you eating a beef pot noodle?
I have been casually eating it for the last 20 minutes.
Beef pot noodle. Nice. Yeah, class lad.
Yeah, no, sorry, just something I wanted to put in, so feel free to delete it.
I'm going to put the topic up as vapors banging on about Bitcoin.
Right, that's going proper cunty.
Because vapors, just like anyone else talking about Bitcoin, don't know fuck all about it. No one knows fuck all about it because there isn't fuck all to know yet.
It's anyone that's an overnight expert in anything that pisses me off. Someone that...
If I could go to the Bureau de Change and go and change 10 quid into Bitcoins, and you just can't at the minute, can you?
You could change 10 Bitcoins into quids.
Hell of a lot of quids.
Yeah.
Yeah. About 100 grand now, isn't it?
I would love to know how much Bitcoin is owned by CEX.
What?
Yeah, because they take payment in
I
Bitcoin.
know the high street cash converter-esque gaming DVD shop. They've been taking Bitcoin payments for about 6 years.
Yeah, they've probably done quite well off it. They probably have.
When their VAT's due at the end of the quarter, they probably sell them all.
It'd be a bit weird though, wouldn't it? Because they technically earned, say, 100 quid in Bitcoin, and then now
I'm
they
not sure if I'm correct.
no, but they would have paid tax on that at the value at the time, and now it's owned by them.
Apparently, Bitcoins aren't taxable. This was something that I was looking at.
That's what I was about to say.
This is why it's being taken up by Gary Barlow.
We got a customer that comes in our shop that sounds exactly like Gary Barlow.
Gary Barlow.
Just a bit droll and thick.
You got any of them bear piles?
I'm not going to do an impression in case he's watching.
Do it.
No.
Do it. No one watches anyway.
Got 41 people are watching at the moment.
Woohoo!
You know how many times Kev Lester has to refresh.
Chandler really likes being watched, doesn't he? I'd be interested to see what camera setup's in his room.
Right, my apologies. As Mo just said, it's not vape related, so let's move on. My apologies.
Right, for fuck's sake, now get back to my boners, you cunt.
Go on then.
Right, I'll drop this in straight in the middle and we'll work out from there.
Where are we going? Do I need to refresh or?
I don't know where it's loading.
I don't normally need to refresh with yours. Yours normally appear. It's only ours for some reason. Oh yeah, this thing. I heard its name is a bit cloney though.
Yeah. And I heard the internals are a bit fishy. Well, a bit
I heard the kind that makes it stole the name.
You should call it the soy.
Soy. S-O-Y.
I'm pretty sure. Oh, okay, S-O-Y.
You're using soy sauce bottles by the looks of it. Was that Doctor Who one intentional?
Yes.
Right, I'm just checking. Some people aren't that intelligent.
Did you design that yourself?
That one.
You got permission to use a Dalek?
It's just a generic alien. If it just happens to look like a Dalek, that's fine. That's not, you know.
That's actually a realistic photo of his rubbish bin at home that he attached a dildo to.
That's the one.
Plunger. It's a bin with a plunger on it.
A single plunger.
Yeah. Anyway, well, not only am I grateful, but I appreciate that you've put a lot of effort into it. I mean,
oh, thanks.
It's nice. I don't like the fact that the squonk hole's actually round.
You don't like the round squonk hole?
No, because I'll keep worrying to get my fat finger stuck in it. I've been using this like for 3 days, and I've only used half a bottle of juice.
To be fair, I fucking love the idea of a 15ml juice bottle.
But
the juice bottles,
the tolerances are great. The magnets are great. They're done really well. Mine had like glue splodges on the outside. And this doesn't. It's just you've put a lot of effort into it. I mean, you didn't tighten the fucking 510, so it was looser than the fucking hooker's arsehole. But I've got a tightening kit, so I took it apart.
I'm gonna have to invest in a tightening kit. Yeah.
I might have to. You might have to send all of your contacts to me. I've got a punch that puts the dimples in. What did you do it with? Because it looks like when you're watching Art Attack and they put scissors in something, they put blue tack underneath. It looks like you've done that.
What did I do it with? I did it with the dimple punch.
I've got an actual dimple punch. If you want me to put some punches in it.
There you go. That's what I used to put the dimple punch in, which is why it's a hex key.
Did you put blue tack underneath it?
I put it. What I did was, where is it? There it is. I've got an ATI stand, and so I used the ATI stand.
I'm going to find you a link
to the plate over the top, and then so that goes through the hole.
I'm going to send you a link to the punch I bought. It's about 50 quid, but it's so worth it.
Yeah.
It's actually used for cutting out certain discs out of sheet steel.
Right.
Or sheet copper or sheet, whatever. So you put the copper in. If you need to cut a long length of copper down, you can just stick it in, punch a hole out the middle, and then have 2 lengths. And then
will that punch a 12mm hole for the 510.
Absolutely.
Oi, now that's what I need.
Yeah, just punch a hole out for the 510. Then you turn. What it is they're like perfectly square at the ends, like cut sharp.
Yeah.
So one end you hit down, it cuts all the way through. The other end you're not supposed to hit, but if you turn it upside down, it's rounded. It just does the dimples in them.
Ah, okay.
I would take my contacts out to show you, but I can't be fucking arsed. So I'm gonna take the back out and see if you can see it. Well, this one, I think this one was terrible, but it was my own one, so I didn't give a fuck. Just turn my torch on. Can you see? Can you see that?
Yeah, yeah. Nice round.
Actual dimple.
Yeah, because I don't know if you'll see that, but that's one of my contacts.
Fuck.
Probably won't. Is that too close?
Yeah, I can see what it's.
You can see it's hexagonal because I use the hex key to do it.
But anyway, I'll send you a link to the punch. But yeah, no, I'm impressed with it. It's the first mod. It's a bit wide for my liking. You definitely can't use it left-handed, so kick your fucking head in.
No, he's not. I've literally just sent off a left-handed version for printing.
So it's not very comfortable left-handed.
Are you left-handed?
No, I'm right-handed. You can't.
Oh, that's all right then. Just checking. I thought it was only Stu that was a freak.
Yeah.
You're a freak.
It's only Stu that was born with a birth defect.
Yeah. Well, what can you say?
But yeah, no, I'm impressed. I'd like it up somewhere. Fully charged. It's not absolutely fucking incredible. As I said, it could be a bit smaller.
No billet box.
You could have bothered. Yeah, it could be like the billet box size. You could have tightened up the 510. You could have more of a gap between the contact and the 510. But apart from that, it's really nice. I like it. Thank you very much.
Chambers. What's it called? Is it still called the Home Wrecker?
Yeah, it is at the moment.
I think it's called ET Phone Clone. I mean,
that's the one.
To be honest, I forgot you changed the name of your group because I was looking for that picture and I searched for Home Wreckers and there's about 15 other groups called Home Wreckers.
Oh, bollocks.
I think it's cool.
I really like it.
Oh, thank you very much.
That's a good point. Paul Mangiagali, I think I pronounced that correctly, roughly, is still in the chat. Soon as they've all just admitted that I'm the only one in the group that's left-handed, you can kick the rest of them out of the LHS group.
You needn't bother. I've got a vested interest.
I'm only in there because it's like the what's it called? Children in Need appeal. You go in there to feel sorry for people.
Well, I'm quite interested to get the left-handed version because when I'm at my computer, I obviously use the mouse in my right hand, so the squonker sits in my left hand all the time when I'm on the computer.
I use my mouse right-handed, so I have to squonk left-handed. I mean, obviously, I am left-handed, so I normally would anyway. But
see, I squonk a lot more when I'm driving, so I use my right hand because I hold the gear stick with the left.
What's this one then, Chris? Ironic that she smokes 90 fags a day.
Now this is the original Vapors Cotton. Now I actually made this meme, so to speak, before there was any dedicated Vapors Cotton. I had to dig back to 2013 to find, or was it 2013? Maybe before that.
You know what? You must be able to read the future because your pricing is exactly right. Most Vapors Cotton is $5.99 a pack.
Well, I think a week. I know. Do you know what it was? This was actually when Shake and Vape. What was the first one? It was around the same time. I think this was like a week before they announced that it had come out. But yeah, I made this in a group, and it's still the only UK originated Vapors Cotton. Hashtag respect dot.
What are we boner in here? Are we boner in your meme?
No, it's just predicting the future.
Oh, thanks, Chris. Thanks for sharing.
It's all right.
Apparently, I'm the disabled one.
I've got a boner. Who do I send the picture to?
Basically anyone but me.
Oh yeah, Mark Ski, can I show your thingamajiggy, your whiskey collection?
Sure, if you want, mate. I don't think anyone will be interested, but
I will.
Well, I'm fucking interested. I just wanted
I'm
to
interested. I love a whiskey.
Yeah, I mean, I won't disclose his address.
As long as it's not one of those fucking horrible Scottish peaty single malt fucking ones.
Oh, there's a lot of single malts in this collection.
I hate that really peaty, smoky whiskey. I like
the Isla malts. Beautiful. Gives me indigestion, but beautiful.
I can't even find it.
I love rye. Fuck me. Oh. A rye Manhattan. There is nothing in this world better than a rye Manhattan.
You do know that you do know that in Scotch whiskey they only use rye malt in the blends.
Yeah, which is why it tends to be with Scotch whiskey that I prefer blends to single malts.
I'm just gonna drop it on the boner board because Stu's already screen sharing, but you can delete it straight afterwards. I just want to show it. It's fucking.
We can boner Markski's whiskey collection. It's vaping related.
Well, it's actually got a picture of a mod in it, so that counts.
I've got. Hey, that's like being inside Independent Spirit.
There's another wall on the side, isn't there, Mark?
There's another side to it.
Christ alive.
Have you got a bottle of Dalmore there?
I've got 2.
Ooh.
I've got a 12 and a 15.
I've got a 35.
Are we talking about penis inches again?
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's lovely. That is lovely.
Have you got a knock and do?
I've got a few actually.
Oh, because I've been to the Knock and Do distillery, and they're not making any more whiskey, are they? They've stopped distilling.
I'm not too sure.
By that, do you mean that you went to a distillery and said, "Can I come in?" and said, "No, can do, pal." I've not actually heard of that. Have you got any Macallan 50?
No, I've got a 35 and I've got a 15.
Oh, I'm definitely coming around your house in January and turning that collection up. You won't miss one bottle. I'll replace it with some baby sham or something.
How far away do you each other live?
You watch. Chris is going to visit Markski's place, and Markski's going to go and check on his whiskey collection after Chris leaves. Random bottles that have been replaced by WKD Blues.
But they're all. I'm assuming they're all collector's bottles rather than to be drunk.
Well, there is, because he doesn't drink them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do what I did to my mum. Just drink her vodka and fill it with water.
I've got a nice.
Incredible.
I've got a nice 63-year-old. It's called the Old and the Rare. That's a bit of a bad boy, like probably the rarest one I've got. I've got a few Yamazaki.
I fucking love Yamazaki and Ibiki.
I've got Takasuru as well.
Yamazaki is one of the few single malts that's peated, and I still like it. It's fucking delicious.
You know what? It makes me want to have another drink.
Yeah, really nice with a bit of Diet Coke.
You know what? If I actually drank alcohol, I think I'd be really turned on by that photo.
Yeah, you should start drinking, Mark. You'd like beer.
That's just yeah, you would.
Oh, I'm just so jealous.
It's got to go into absolutely fucking incredible. That's one
I've
hell of a collection.
I've probably got about 40 odd bottles of spirits in the cupboard. But a lot of it's like Jack Daniels and Jack Daniels variants and shit like that. So we were talking the other night, and I was like, yeah, I've spent a lot of money on booze. It just sits there and gathers dust. So then who we were on hangouts with, they were like, yeah, Mark's got a few bottles. I said, how many is a few? And he showed us. I was like, for fuck's sake, I thought I had a big collection.
We've got a shop in Bath called Independent Spirit that specialises in real fucking quality alcohol and specifically harder to find stuff. And it's where I go for my favourite bourbon, because my favourite bourbon you basically you can buy it online, but you can't really get it from a brick and mortar.
What is it?
It's called Tin Cup. It's a Colorado mountain water bourbon, and it's fucking delicious. It's only about 40 quid a bottle. It's for drinking, not for looking at. And their collection of rare and hard to find stuff is less impressive than that collection of rare and hard to find stuff.
That is a coma waiting to happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just waiting for Mark to have one really shit event happen in his life, and
The whole month's gone.
He's found dead with like 60 bottles of whiskey around him.
For Scotland to experience its first earthquake. That would really fucking ruin Markski's day, wouldn't it?
Oh, can you imagine? An earthquake would ruin. You need to put like some sort of safety barrier around all of them.
It's all insured, like.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, I've got a couple of bottles of moonshine. That's pretty horrible. I'll swap that for a couple. When you're not looking.
You can do one, like.
I reckon I could do 2 of them in a night. Me and Mark did that.
I got a couple of boners. I got a ranty one first.
Oh, here we go.
It's a good one. You'll like it.
Stay tuned till 8:45 tomorrow morning.
You're doing your. Go on then.
No, you'll like this. If I can find it. Oh, that's the wrong folder. That's why. Desktop. There we go. This one. So, my first boner, and I have a feeling this is going to end up going pretty low.
It's your forehead.
It's your forehead.
This is why I was laughing earlier when you said it. People in this industry, especially on social media, who latch on to someone who's doing well and act. It's this whole thing of like, oh, I'm mates with this person, or oh, this person's great, or oh, all I'm going to do is keep talking about this person. And then when you speak to that person that they don't stop banging on about, the person's like, I've got no fucking clue who they are. I don't know or care about this person. Who the fuck are they? And I'm seeing so much of it lately. Like, in particular, people like Stuart Matthew, for example. You know, Stu Vapes has a huge following on social media. And the number of people that just fucking name drop him like it's going to get him into a nightclub or something. And it's just like, and you speak to Stu about it and he doesn't give a fuck. Like, what does he care? He doesn't know these people.
You know what's worse than that?
Go on.
People who you genuinely talk to a lot and they can't even remember your name.
Yeah, that probably is worse. That's like the opposite of Klingons. We'll call those Romulans.
Yeah, something like that. Call them Vulcan ones. I mean...
Go fuck yourself.
No, but yeah, I get that. I got my first ever recognition, like not like people that are in the industry. I was at the maternity hospital yesterday, leaving in my Pandora hoodie, and some bloke stopped me and says, "Is that the Pandora hoodie on your? Is that the Pandora RDA on your hoodie?" I says, "Yeah." He goes, "You love that. Where can I get one of them?"
So you didn't get recognised then. Your hoodie got recognised.
Well, fuck you.
Your hoodie's more famous than you.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a very strange place for someone to recognise, well, my brand. Well, it could have been on the back of a bus and they would have recognised it. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, I was there.
Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is just that this culture of fucking clinging on to people that are doing well and riding their coattails is so pathetic. And I'm seeing so much of it.
I don't think it's exclusive to vaping in the slightest.
No, I don't. I agree. It's not exclusive to vaping at all.
It's social media embedded and it's in everything.
I've had a few people come up to me in the past when I've had my.
Were they humming?
When I've had my Vape t-shirt on, who have come up to me and said, "Oh, I'm really good friends with Mark. Do you know Mark?" What? Seriously? Nah, I think he's a bit of a cunt myself.
Have they ever then come into the shop and seen you and be like,
"This is awkward.
Hi, I'm Dave." Like, "Hi, I'm Mark."
You know, the only time I pretend not to be Mark is when the phone rings at work and I answer the phone and they say, "Hello, is Mark there?" No, he's not in today.
Say, "Oh, you must be that wanker Martin." Can you let me know when the real big man gets in?
Bless him, he's on holiday this week.
He's what?
In Reigate.
He's on holiday this week.
What do you mean? He's on holiday every fucking day.
He wouldn't know what work was if it kicked him in the bollocks, but that's a different story.
So where are we putting these Klingons then?
In a toilet. Mummy says you can't eat them when you pull them off.
What do we think?
Cunty.
Is it proper cunty? I think it's proper cunty. I fucking
Oh, yeah.
hate it.
Cunty.
Who do I send my picture to?
Send it to me.
Right.
Nah. I'll send it to Stu.
Nah, fuck you, Chris. And then my second one is I actually decided with this one to wait a little while and own it for a bit before I pass judgment on it. But this thing, I am fucking over the moon with. I am absolutely over the moon with it.
Is it another 3D printed Alimide box that's overpriced?
They're about 140 quid. They're not silly money.
An overpriced 3D printed mod then.
What are the internals made of?
There's solid silver internals. The Ultim button, I think, is a really nice touch, especially the polish job on it, which is literally perfectly smooth. The fit and finish on it is fantastic. The door doesn't move an inch. It comes with a really fucking good bottle. It's got an adjustable 510. It's just got everything that I'm looking for in a box, and it feels really fucking nice in the hand.
It looks a comfy shape.
Rob just said Zomo laser turn. Ooh.
It is a really nicely comfortable shape. It is a really nicely comfortable shape. I'm just really fucking happy with it.
Where
You know,
it's made, Stu? I don't personally know this.
How big's the 510 plate, sorry?
24.
So,
And made in Belgium.
so you put anything over 24 mil on it, it's going to overhang that slant that's at the front, which is a bit shit.
Yeah, but what squonks that's over, like, there's not much that squonks that's over 24. He says as he's releasing a squonk pin for a 25 mil at 8.
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't use anything over 22 mil.
To be fair, that's a point as well. But it's got like a little recess in the 510 as well. I mean, we're not zoomed in that far, but yeah, I've zoomed in. There's like a 1 mil recess between the actual box and the 510.
That isn't actually there on mine.
Well, that's not a good sign, is it? They're not uniformed. But it's printed to a certain size. They've not had to sand that hole out.
Well, no, I've got a feeling. Let me just check mine a second. Oh, no, that is there on mine. It is there on mine.
See, that's annoying.
Yeah, okay. So we maybe found one thing that isn't perfect on it.
Well, it's not.
And the fact it's 140 quid for a...
That's in the realms of like the half 3D.
Yeah, but it's just as good as the half 3D.
The half has got a following that can demand that price.
Have you? Right, hang on. Right, before we go any further, has anyone in this group owned a half?
No, but I think they're fucking beautiful.
Mark, have you owned a half?
I've had one, yeah.
And I'm not asking you to slag it off. What were your opinions on the half mod? Honestly.
I can only speak for the one that I had. It was a half black Delrin, half stab.
That's exactly what I want. Why do you have everything that I want and then
Shut up and listen, Christopher. Shut up and listen.
Sorry.
I thought it was a nice bit of gear. I did have a few gaps in mine. You could see daylight through it, which I wasn't all that impressed about. I thought it was nice, but I preferred using other bits and bobs, to be honest.
How did you find it performed?
When the contacts were clean, I just thought it was the same as any other mate, like, to be honest. I didn't notice much of a difference.
This is the thing with mechanical squonkers that I'm starting to realise. They're kind of all much of a muchness, and what you are paying for is if you like the design. If you personally like the design, if you find it comfortable, if you find it attractive, you're not paying really for anything else, because most mech squonkers basically work the same. Like with this Neo, Could I make improvements to this design? Yes, I could. I could put a lock on it. It's not got a firing lock on the 510, which I would like. I would appreciate a lock on there.
I've got a bag of them.
The fit and finish. I mean, yeah, Chris pointed out the 1 mil, the sort of 0.5 mil recess on the plate. It's not causing me a problem because I've got an adjustable 510 and I use a beauty ring. And I think most squonk vapors do the same. They use a beauty ring and have an adjustable 510. So if it doesn't cause you a problem, it isn't a problem. Like,
it's not being handmade. I don't understand what the deal is with just adding a fucking 0.5 mil to the thickness of that, the section that holds the 510.
If 67 mods get feedback that people have a problem with that gap, I'm sure that they will adjust to the print and the next run won't have that gap. It's
how many mods have you owned where the fucking 510's recessed into the box?
A couple, not many, but a couple.
And you know, it's kind of an expected thing now for it to be flush.
Yeah, but it
doesn't need to protrude and it doesn't need to be sunk in. It needs to just sit flush.
But at the same time, it doesn't cause a problem. If you have a spring-loaded 510 or an adjustable 510, it doesn't cause a problem. You don't see it.
It's just a bit meh to me, to be honest.
Controversial. I quite like a recessed 510.
Why? It just gives it more place for juice to gather up and get inside your 510.
I've had quite a few. I did have one called I don't know if any of you guys have heard of a Critival.
No, it's not one I've heard of.
It's I had a Critival V3S that had a really recessed 510 on it, and it kind of just it's almost like the atty was sunk right down on the top of the mod. I quite liked it. I thought it looked quite smart.
To be honest, if it was a little bit deeper, then it could cover a lot of the stainless steel on some RDAs without a fucking beauty ring. But it's not deep enough to do that, and it's not flush.
But it's like the point I'm trying to make is, you know, when you buy a box like this, the positives are all aesthetic, and the negatives are what you take from it. It is all subjective, isn't it? I mean, where's it gone? Stuart Drummond just put up Phobia, Runt, Rock mods. What's the other one that I like? Seas mods. I'd love a Seas mod. It's all a case of do you want it? If you like the design, if you want if it appeals to you, then it's your thing. But to some people, you may the phobic mods for Chris probably isn't going to be a thing.
He's actually making me one without the holes in.
No, he's a star.
Yeah.
I bet that'd be pretty cool as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all subjective. If it's something that tickles your fancy, go for it.
Tickles your
the point is you can find negatives if you want to in any design. If you like the positives and you buy into the brand, that's what makes the product desirable to you. You know, and at the end of the day, like, I bought this because I fucking loved the look of it. And now that I've got it in my hand, I love how it feels in the hand. The performance is exactly what I expected, and I still love the look of it. So I'm very happy with it. If this would bother you, you don't buy one.
That's all them.
Yeah, it's subjective. So I'd be happy for you to put it where you want it to go. It's not something I would rush out. That I like the looks of it. It's not something that I'm going to go, oh yeah, I definitely want one.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to get it into like fully charged, or I'm not even trying to get it in freaking awesome. Because for me, these days, if you're making a mechanical swamp box, you should be putting a switch lock on the 510, you know, and it doesn't come with one. So it has got a big negative that pretty much anyone would take away as a negative. It's not perfect. I would want it, for me, probably on pretty good. Is probably where I'd like it. Somewhere around there.
Pretty good's good.
You know, I think it hits a lot of really cool points on design. You know, the shape is super comfortable. It looks really, really clean. And there's a lot of alumide boxes out at the moment where they do have like a lot of edged corners, and they do have a lot of, you know, sharp angles on them and stuff. And it's just nice to see something in alumide, which is a nice, tough, heat-resistant material that has a really comfortable shape.
Yeah. Good.
I don't care enough about it to be bothered about it being 1 point up from meh, but it's pretty meh for me.
Meh for me too.
You gonna let me have it? You gonna let me have it where I want it?
I guess so. You can have it in the bum.
Oh, I'm happy for pretty good because it looks pretty good.
Pretty good. I think it deserves pretty good. I think, if it had a lock-in 510, I'd be a lock-in switch. I'd be pushing for it to be freaking awesome because I fucking love the aesthetics of them.
Yeah.
But you've got to pick your battles. All right. Anyone else got a boner?
Mark's
I've got a couple.
Sam's got a couple, and Markski's got one as well. Cool.
Where have you stuck it?
Who's going then? Have you got Marks?
RPM, Stuart. The picture.
Don't send it me. I'll push it across to the group chat. I don't have Facebook open during the show.
Celebrities worried he'll be hounded by everyone.
Right, shall I put mine in then quick?
Go on.
Right, let's see.
Forward.
Mark.
It's all right. I've just sent it to the presenters chat. They've got it now.
I'll put it in.
Cheers, Mark.
I like that picture.
There we go. It's uploading. It's uploading. It's uploading. It's uploading. And oh, come on.
Poundland Internet.
Oh yeah. Doesn't like streaming and uploading at the same time. So I'm putting this one in because I've got to make up for having a go at Whiz Beach earlier. So there you go. What do you think to that?
I like the colour.
It's really nice, isn't it?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Wood caps like that. I'm always a little bit funny about plain wood caps. I think they make mods look a little bit old-fashioned. I love the color of the resin and wood bit, but
yeah, no, this has been made by Jimmy Parker, and
this was made in Cambridge and stolen by a resident of Wisbeach.
This was made in Wisbeach, and there's
stolen by a neighbour.
The block's great. Can you see the I'm pointing at it with my mouse. That's so not going to work, is it? The purple bit at that goes around the edge. That actually glows in the dark, which is mildly amusing.
You know what? I really, 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 you know me, I'm a cunt, and I really, really, really like the wood finish. Do you know what? Do you know what really hurts my eyes?
Go on.
That 510.
510.
Because it stands up.
Yeah. Is it because it's flush? Because it's not flush.
It's not flush.
To be fair, as far as I'm aware, Jimmy, message me if I'm wrong, but that's his first mod that he's ever made.
Honestly, it looks
I really like it. I'm not bothered about the 510 sticking out. It's the ones that go inside that bother me.
Yeah, it looks incredible. The finish of it's really, really nice. Just the 510 makes my eyes bleed.
It's really nice. I just refuse to believe it was made in Wisbeach, unless it was made with stolen materials.
You have been to Wisbeach, haven't you?
I have.
Yeah. There's a reason why he put there is a reason why he's got the wood on the top and bottom, because he's got it's one block, and what he's doing is he's made that one for himself and he's making another one for his missus. So in order to get two mods out of one block, he's used the wood on the top, which I thought was quite a clever idea, and I do actually like it.
Apparently was stood up on purpose.
I like it. I think it's very nice looking.
So there you go. For a first mod, I thought that is just.
It is incredible. Do you know what it kind of reminds me of? And I hate to say it because it's a really nice looking mod, but it reminds me a little bit of the R80.
Yeah, I can see why you're saying that actually. Yeah,
it's the same sort of shape, and that was like one color in the middle, and then had two ends that were like shit stainless.
Dumpy little sausage.
I mean, it's nice. It's really nice. you know, I think it is very nice.
Yeah,
But
I mean, the polish job looks nice. You know, the cross sectioning on the, is it bamboo? It looks like bamboo. The
Yeah,
cross
it is.
sectioning's really
Yeah.
nicely placed.
send it to me and I'll tell you how it performs.
I think especially putting a piece of, like, shaping it so that a piece of bamboo goes across the radius like that, so that it forms that sort of open mouth kind of shape. Looks really, really
Yeah,
clever.
and have you also noticed the fact that the pattern actually follows the door?
Yay! Finally.
So the door actually, it matches up to the pattern of the block, which, you know,
is a real pet peeve for some
that
people.
is a bit of attention to detail. That. How
Yeah,
many mods do you see where the door's just been, oh, there is an off cut.
I like all the thought that's gone into it. I really do, and I think it's a very impressive looking mod. Just for my personal taste, I'd like to see either matching top and bottom caps or metal top and bottom caps.
Is it just me, or does it look like Kylo Ren upside down?
the eye bit on the side. Yeah, I see what you
Have
mean.
you ever seen a Japanese Oni demon?
Yeah.
It's the shape at the bottom is reminding me of that, like the samurai
If that
man.
purple bit was missing, and that was where the squonk bottle was. That would be pretty fucking epic. Like,
It would.
straight
They'll
through-
use that as the squonk bottle hole. Ah, interesting.
That'd be fucking awesome because it's an unusual shape, and you wouldn't really get your finger in it. You'd sort of still have to squeeze it from the sides, but aesthetically, it looks sick.
But that purple bit glows in the dark.
Purple's my favourite colour, like proper Liberace
Yeah.
purple.
I
So I
thought
love it.
orange was your favourite colour.
No, orange is just what I end up getting everything in.
Funny enough, orange and purple look fucking great together as well.
They do. Do you know what actually looks really nice? Like a paley sort of sky blue and orange. That looks fucking mental. But my favourite colour is actually purple. I think that's beautiful.
So where are we going to stick it?
Fully charged.
Fully charged.
Oh, fully charged. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely deserves fully charged. It's dope. It's fucking dope. It's literally, you know, my one negative comment on it was a taste thing. There's nothing about it in terms of the decision making that I could take away as a negative.
I've got no issues with the 510 sticking out. I've got no issues with any of it, actually. To be honest, it's probably one of the nicest squonk mods I've seen. And that sounds a bit ridiculous because, you know, there's going to be a whole evolution in however the guy who makes it evolves from his first mod onwards.
Exactly, yeah. It'll be interesting to see what
it's going to stay like that forever. But I actually think that looks it looks almost seamless. It kind of reminds me of the one Markski's got, that green one. Because that green one's got a really cool pattern like that, hasn't it?
No, the only reason mine's has got a pattern is because it's been cut, the mod's been cut with the grain, and then because it's tapered in at the sides and it's been sanded back, you see.
Hold it up again.
So see, yeah. it's like that. So it's just veneers that have been cut with the grain. So when you sand it back, so it like tapers in the middle and it's wider at the top and bottom. That's how you can see the different veneers there.
It's almost like how they wrap stuff, where they paint it and then sand off like parts of it.
Yeah, and it does ones where it cuts across the grain, so the stripes are on the side, and then the sanded pattern is on the front here.
You know what I quite like? Have you seen where people they cut really thin layers of wood and then they compress it all together?
Yeah, ply.
That's what janky plywood.
That's what it is.
No, yeah, it's custom ply. It's a thing that luthiers do with guitars as well.
Yeah, that's where I've seen it. I've seen it on someone making a guitar.
Yeah,
it looks
fucking
awesome.
dope. I've played with it a little bit. I did a bit of guitar making in my sort of early 20s. Made a few like guitar bodies and stuff, and actually compressing plies like that from scratch takes such a long time, you know, and you've got to get so much weight on them so that it squeezes out all the glue except for like the last bit that you need just to hold it together.
Yeah, it's like those ones though, like where they've cut out the bit where you put in your amp lead. Sort of cuts into it, and you can see like 6 or 7 layers sort of curved down. That's beautiful.
It is lovely. Yeah, I did mine in cherry and maple, and I never actually got around to polishing it, unfortunately, because I made a fuck up on one of the cuts. So I didn't end up even bothering to polish it. But they do look beautiful. They do look really beautiful. So what's this fucking ugly mod that someone's put on John O'Brow?
That'd be me. Sorry, I just wanted to put that. That's the first time. As soon as we were talking about squonkers, it's a dual battery regulated squonker.
I've got one of them that you can buy cheap.
It's a G box.
Is it for gangsters only?
Sorry?
Is it for gangsters only?
I have no idea. It's literally on. I mean, it's on pre-order on a few sites that I've seen, and I've been saying about, I'd like a regulated squonk box, and then one came out. So it's the first mod that I've been tempted with recently.
I think the only 2 battery squonker that I would consider at the moment is those screen boxes, and even at that, I don't know that I want a series or any kind of high powered squonker. I don't know that I care.
It's the regulated bit that I'm after.
I'd
want a dual regulated.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, Chandler, you're welcome to this one, cheap.
I think I
might have to have a chat with you after about that.
A nice lipo would be a good idea for doing a regulated squonker. Nice little 3S lipo.
To be honest, I've given up on lipos. They've got a mind of their own.
Is it me or does it look like the Aegis?
It looks similar to the Aegis, yeah.
It looks a bit like that fucking shit alien thing Smock do from the front.
Mm.
I think it looks wank, to be honest, Chandler. Sorry, mate.
I don't mind as long as the 510 doesn't leak. The bottle system's all right.
I have a really major issue with it, Mark, and I think you might change your opinion on it in a second.
Go on.
Look where the 510 plate is.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. That's
where the fire button is. The screen and the up and down buttons and the fire button all sit in the palm of your hand.
If you're finger triggering it, you've got the squonk bottle and the 510 are at the back, and the screen and the fire button are at the other side.
Who the fuck wants a squonk bottle in the palm of their hand? You've either got the squonk bottle in the palm of your hand or the up and down buttons in the palm of your hand, either of which are stupid.
The thing is, though, once you've got... The thing is, though, I mean, realistically, if you were using, you would just lock your wattage in and leave it anyway until you put a new building.
Yeah.
I'm not really one for adjusting the power. Once you've set it, that's it done, really.
We're just trying to give me more power.
Would it not still piss you off, though, having either the buttons or the bottle touching the palm of your hand?
With the one I've got, it's not my favourite kind of thing because I like something small and dinky, but the bottle's on the side and the 510 plate's at the front, so it doesn't have that issues that weird one has. But I think it looks shit. It looks too much like a wanky smock product for my liking. Fuck it off.
It does look very smock.
Fuck it off.
It does. It looks like a. It does look like well, it is a mass-produced regulated squonk box.
Don't get me wrong, I think regulated squonking still has a lot to offer us. I do think that there is still something good to come from regulated squonking, but I don't think that's it.
I think if I wanted a red ring, I would go for a fucking Vindaloo.
It does come in other colours. You can have an all-red one.
Oh, that makes it all right then.
You can have a green or you can have a stainless one.
You know what? I was happy to leave that in John O'Brown until you said that, and now I want it in almost shite.
I'm just trying to see. I'm just doing a quick search, trying to see who makes the bloody thing.
Poor Chandler wants to buy a mod, and everyone's fucking bashing it.
Yeah,
it's actually Vape that makes it. You can tell by the interface, and that's a real fucking shame because Geek Vape have been doing really well with their new releases lately.
I'll love it once he's paid for this drone. But now it's in almost shite.
Oh, is it going in almost shite? Oh yeah, it's Geek Vape. There you go. You just said that, didn't you? And yeah. Okay.
I'm happy with Pretty Pants. I won't cry about that.
Yeah, I could live with Pretty Pants or John O'Brow. I'll be honest, it's kind of one of those things. Like I'm picking faults with it, but the truth is, I just don't care because it's not a mod that I would ever want to own. So I don't really care.
To be fair, though, the RDA looks like a clone goon. It looks like It's got the clamp system. It's got the goon shape. It's got everything goon.
It's got staggered posts. So instead of the posts being square, they're at an angle like that.
Like the what's the one before the Amphion but after the Hadley?
Crichton.
Like that.
Were they staggered on angles? They're kind of, yeah, you've got one.
If they go like this.
They're tipped at 45 degrees, so you've got two.
Oh,
you connect it that way.
Fucking hell, you're putting it further and further down. It's gonna be Zomo laser by the time you finish your sales pitch.
Okay, I'm gonna stop now. Just stick it in pretty pants. There you go. Pretty pants, because we're gonna be here till 11 o'clock if we're not careful.
He's settling for pretty pants. Do we know what it's called?
Gig Vape G-Box.
It is pretty pants.
Right. Thanks.
It's just kind of going to make no impact, is it? Let's be honest. It's just going to make no impact anywhere. Like, vape chaps will buy it because it'll be cheap. People that are into squonking,
it's like the knee.
Maybe buy it if they very specifically want a 2 battery regulated and don't like the offerings from Kangatech or Lost Vape. And other than that, it's just going to make no impact.
It's going to be like the fucking knee box. It's going to be out for a week and then it'll go down in price to like 24 quid. And then no one will buy it at 24 quid and everyone will just set fire to them at the end of the year.
I didn't think it was bad. It's 65 quid for the mod and the attic.
That's not bad considering you get a goon with it, and that's about 50 quid.
Money's right. Yeah. The money's always right on Geek Vape stuff. It is just a bit of a disappointment to me because Geek Vape have, like, with the Athena kit, they fucking nailed it. The Athena kit is stunning. It's just a shame to see them get Squonking so right and then get it so, you know, meh.
Yeah. Right. Come on. Moving on. What's Markski's one?
Yeah, it's Markski's one left to go.
I'll drop Mark's in 1 second. Oh.
Have you not got one Gigantor?
I've done mine.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
I'll drop it in, John.
Smallest photo ever. That is as big as it's getting. Please tell me you're going to shit on the billet box. Please, Markski.
It's probably one of the worst bits of gear I've ever used in my life.
Chris is going to fucking cry. Oh, this is going to be great. I'm just going to sit back and put my feet up.
I've got to come around
I've got a few reasons why it's one of the worst bits of gear I've ever used.
Just to prove the point as well, I am literally sitting back and putting my feet up. My feet are just like.
So I'll start with the. I'll start with if you're using a rebuildable head for the billet box, and you've got to unscrew the drip tip. You've got to take the drip tip out. Then you have to get a coin and unwind the adapter out. Then you have to pull the chimney out of the tank. Then you've got to pull the tank out the mod. Then you've got to pull the glass out. Then you've got to fucking build the little bit that goes inside it. Then you've got to put it all fucking back together again, and then put your juice in it.
Chris's heart's breaking.
And then once you're finished with that juice, you then have to take the fucking drip tip back out. You have to get a coin out, take the adapter out, take the chimney out, take the tank out, slide the glass back out, pop the RBA head out. Then you've got to fucking take the RBA head apart. You've got to wash that. You've got to clean it. You've got to rebuild it, re-wick it. And it's such a fucking faff. It's just shite.
Are you saying you have to fuck about a bit with it then?
It's one of the biggest faffs that I've ever fucking seen in vaping. Don't get me wrong.
They are a nightmare.
It's not going in the very bottom because I actually think I like the form factor of the mod and I like the materials, the shape and where the fire button is. But everything else about it, it's just fucking gash.
Right, I'm going to say 2 points here, right? One, this is like me going to someone else's house and rearranging their furniture. it's never going to go in the shit zone or anywhere near the shit end. Let's get that out the fucking window right now. Second point, I actually don't disagree with you, but I don't use the fucking bull.
Hang on, I muted him at the wrong time.
Fuck off and all the time. I don't disagree with you. To be honest, the RBA heads are a pain in the ass, but I don't fucking use them. The billet box in itself, for the way, right? So the Nautilus coils, the BVC coils, are unprecedented. You know, there's nothing else better than those coils for a mouth to lung. Not mega high VG juice. You cannot beat those coils in a stock coil. And you cannot beat the billet box for its looks. In my opinion, it is the fucking beautiful mod.
I'll tell you what, right? If the billet box didn't look as good as it did, vape as good as it did, and feel as good in the hand as it does, those are the things that save it. It would be in the fucking shit pile if it wasn't for its form factor, its build quality, its looks, that kind of stuff. If it was, because the thing is with the billet box, it markets itself as a convenience product. It's an all-in-one system. You just leave the house with your billet box and you're set for the day. But the problem is, if you have to do anything to your billet box, you're not set for the day. You're very much unset for the day.
I will agree with what Chris made a point where he uses, what do you call it? One of the just a throwaway head.
Sorry.
So if you're using the same juice all the time with the same coils, it's not so drastic. But the billet box seems to be it's obviously more for the hobbyist people, so they do majority prefer using the exo set or the racing bridge or whatever like that. So once you start using them, they're just a fucking nightmare. Why not just use a fucking tank?
But I mean, for me, it's pretty simple. I pull the drip tip off, unscrew the 510. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. I tip the tank out. I've got a barbecue skewer. I just shove that down the middle, unscrew it, put a new coil in, slide it back in. It is a piece of piss. I don't have to rebuild it. I don't have to re-wick it. If it tastes like shit, just pop the coil out and fuck it off. It's 45 milligram. All the flavors have got a fruity, so it doesn't particularly matter if there's a bit left in the tank. I just top it up. If I run out of that juice, I go on to the next one. They all merge well together. I mean, I've got a strawberry and kiwi, strawberry, kiwi, strawberry and watermelon, strawberry, watermelon. I've got all of those individually and as mixes, so it doesn't fucking matter to me.
I think this is a classic example of if it works for you, it works. If it doesn't work for you, you're going to fucking hate it.
I think it's kind of comparing almost two different RDAs. In the sense we're kind of comparing an RDA to a Nautilus for a broad spectrum of what we're trying to achieve with it. For the billet box itself, it's fucking beautiful. For customization, it's beautiful. For the form factor, the way it feels in your hand, the way everything about it is great. Apart from the rebuildables, which aren't released by Billet Box. The rebuildables, the Exocet, they're not made by Billet Box. The only thing that was made by Billet Box, well, a lot of them are made by Atmostique actually, are the bridges. And the bridges that I use, and it is literally down to your preference of coil. All of the bridges, all the coils for all the bridges they make are all right coils. All of them are all right. Do you know what I mean? They've sold hundreds of thousands of those coils over dozens of tanks. There's been a lot of tanks that take the same coils because those coils are fucking awesome.
But the Exocet is gash.
The Exocet is gash, but that's why I don't use one. Do you know what I mean? I'm not skint. I'm not using I'm not using these coils because I have to. I'm using them because I want to.
I got a better vape from the Kanga RBA than I did from the Exocet.
Yeah, so if you were comparing the Kanga RBA to the Exocet, you'd say the Kanga RBA is all right and the Exocet is wank, but the Billet Box just stays amazing both times.
The Billet Box as a platform is a great idea. I still go through phases where I think, yeah, I'd quite like to own one, and we've got one in the drawer that belongs to Rita. And if I wanted to use one, I could get that one out, sort it out, and I could use it as a daily driver. But every time I've had to build one, I've just been like, "Fuck me, this is such a chore." So I kind of get where Mark's.
It's no more of an effort using the stock coils as it is using a rebuildable RDA. Like,
I mean, to be fair, when we found out that you were using Aspire BVCs and not Nautilus coils, as you'd led us to believe for like 6 months, we both said
BVC, Aspire BVC. I said Aspire BVC, and you
said Nautilus coils. Several. You even said Nautilus coils today, a minute ago.
You know what I meant, dickhead. Anyway, the point is, the fact of the matter is, the billet box itself is the nuts. Like, it's completely innovative. There's nothing else like it. People like the rail box tried to achieve what this has achieved and just couldn't do it. The Rev 4, as it stands, is incredible. The Rev 3, not so much. It was inconvenient battery sizes. It looked a bit weird. It actually looked pretty cool, but you know, it was a potentiometer, blah 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 blah. This is fucking banging. Like, no one's going to convince me otherwise. You make a very compelling argument about why the Exocet and RDAs for it aren't that great, but I agree with everything you said. I've got no, you know.
Worth pointing out that it is currently on the furthest column on the right that it could possibly be in. And in fact,
refresh. I changed that.
Yeah, and I moved it back.
Where is it now?
It's still there.
I think it's
gone right there.
Chris, have you tried the Insider?
Yes.
I preferred it to the Exocet.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I've tried every bridge, every coil. There's not one I haven't tried apart from the Flow, is it?
Yeah, and the
That's
Bastard.
the only one I've not tried, and I've just stuck with these coils. I've been using these coils for a year.
I mean, what we could do here, if we wanted to be diplomatic, and I know that's not particularly our style, but we do like Markski, is create another category, building on the billet box, and stick that right in the toilet. Like make a new boner for building on the billet
fucking
box.
boner board with billet box and all of its accessories, and rate them from shit to great. Because the billet box in itself, there's no way I'm giving up on this argument. There's no fucking chance that I'm.
But the thing is, what Markski's actually brought up is that building on the billet box is bullshit, and you don't build on the billet box.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. But the billet box in itself cannot be penalised for a third-party product that's made that is shit.
Okay, so let's have a almost.
That's like saying the Alpha 1 is shit because someone made an ugly bag for it to go in. That doesn't make the Alpha, the Vulcan 1 or the Alpha shit. It makes the bag that come with it shit.
Look, we've done the diplomatic thing. In Almost Shy, I've put a new boner that says billet box rebuildables. Okay? And that's the image that we'll use for it.
I'm happy with that. I agree with every point Markski made, except the fact that it can be blamed on the billet box itself.
Okay, well, we've come to an agreement. We're fine. Can we go to bed now? It's fucking 3 minutes to 11.
Does Markski agree, though?
Markski, are you happy with this solution?
Nah, I think it's fucking gash, but I'll go with it.
I fucking knew you were going to do that.
Oh,
okay. What time are we staying up till discussing this? Because Reese has got work tomorrow.
This is like finding out that your family think your baby's ugly.
Oh.
Just not on.
Yeah, but to be fair, some babies are fucking ugly, aren't they?
Not mine.
I'm staying out of this. I ain't got a billet box, so I can't comment.
It sounds. That'll do, like.
Almost shite.
I thought
there you go.
Are you stretching, or is that a victory stance?
The smart dab.
Oh, a little dab. You little dab there.
A billet box dab.
The reason he even agreed to come on tonight was to try and conquer this subject.
Reese is fucking loving this. She's going mental in the corner.
Tell her, if she fucking loves it that much, I'm going to confiscate her billet box. She doesn't. A bit like the anima. You do not deserve to own it. I bet it's a fucking SXK clone, isn't it?
No, it's a real one.
I'm taking it.
Kev Lester says, "Are we still doing hangouts?" Well, I'm fucking not. I'm going to bed.
Oh, I'm gonna have to. I mean, man, it's 11 o'clock. Fuck me.
You're just going to go and exercise that 1-inch love.
Yeah, it doesn't reach the back, mate.
Doesn't even reach the front, does it? You can't.
Not unless I limber up first.
Who's rubbing who's? See, it's funny because you're essentially in a gender fluid relationship because you can't decide who's playing with whose clit and you can't decide who's playing with whose tits. So
It's true. Yeah.
hashtag.
We are a lesbian couple. It's true. We also both love RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, can't. Oh, it's, strangely, I like that.
Yeah, no, there's nothing strange about it, Chandler. Drag Race is life, mate.
Yeah, I really wasn't into it, but my missus started watching it, and I strangely got pulled in. It is fabulous.
It's fucking addictive. Really
Isn't
addictive.
it?
Isn't it sponsored by Vupu?
No, but it probably should be. Yeah. So can we go bed now? Are we allowed to stop? Please.
Shall we stop?
Should we stop?
I would just like to say thanks for having me on the show.
That's all right. We love having you on the show.
No, thanks for coming.
I did like having you on the show until about 10 minutes ago.
Forever, we will remember this day that somebody stood up to Chris on the Billet box. Like, this is VT UK Hall of Fame quality material.
I thought me and Mark's got a pretty good relationship. I realized he's fucked me over twice in life now.
Just after Christmas, we have a tradition where we always do the VT UK Awards, and we have categories. And we might actually have to make a category for like our favorite episode. And I think if we make that category like our favorite episode of VT UK, I will definitely be voting for the one where Marksky slagged off the Billet box in front of Chris.
I'll make you a deal. If you pick this as the favourite episode for slagging off Chris in the Billet box, I'll buy a Billet box and throw it off a high-rise building.
I'll fucking come down to Edinburgh and throw you off a high rise.
You are a god amongst men, Marksky. You are a god amongst men.
He's fucked me over twice in life now, during this episode, and also at Expo after he'd had a few bevies. He had a mod that I said I really liked, and I said, if you ever sell it, let me know. He says, I'm never selling it, but you can have first refusal if I do. And he sold it to someone else. So twice in life I've been sorely disappointed by you, Mark.
Maybe he decided that you didn't deserve to own it, Chris, in your own words. Come around, kid.
I'll only be salty about that for about 6 months. Don't worry about that.
Right, good night, everybody. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.